टीम ग्रैंड फाइनल्स में ये बिलीव करके आती है कि वो चैंपियन बन सकती है, लेकिन टीम एपेक्स गेमिंग जो उस वक्त अपने ओरिजिनल बैनर टीम हिंद के नाम से खेल रही थी, उनकी कहानी थोड़ी अलग थी। तेज FFMIC 2026 स्प्रिंग के ग्रैंड फाइनल्स के स्टेज पर कदम रखने से काफी पहले, पहला मैच शुरू होने से पहले, पहला पॉइंट मिलने से पहले उन्होंने अपना एंडिंग इमेजिन कर लिया था। उनके लिए ट्रॉफी पहले ही उनकी थी। ये ओवर कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं था, ये बिलीव था। सालों तक साथ खेलने का बिलीव, हर सेटबैक से वापस उठने का बिलीव और नॉकआउट स्टेज क्रॉस करके इंडिया की बेस्ट टीम के सामने खड़े होने का बिलीव। अब सिर्फ एक सवाल बाकी था, क्या वो बिलीव रियलिटी बन सकता था?
जब अपना FFMIC 2026 था अपना स्प्रिंग, उसमें हमने मेनली फोकस किया था अपनी 4v4 फाइट्स में। हमने जितना ज्यादा स्ट्रॉन्ग कर सकते थे हमने उसको स्ट्रॉन्ग किया, अपने कोऑर्डिनेशन पे काम किया। तो फिर ऐसा हो गया था कि फिर एक टाइम पे हम कोई भी टीम को 4v4 इजिली मार दे रहे थे। उसी से फिर हमको कॉन्फिडेंस आ गया था कि 4v4 फाइट अपनी बहुत ज्यादा स्ट्रॉन्ग है, बस जोन्स और बाकी सब चीज पे अपने को ध्यान देना है, बाकी फाइट्स तो हम निकाल ही लेंगे।
लेकिन चैंपियनशिप डिसाइड होने से पहले एक और हर्डल बाकी था, पॉइंट रश। 6 मैचेस, एक दिन, और वही डिसाइड करता था कि चैंपियनशिप डे पर हर टीम कितने हेड स्टार्ट पॉइंट्स के साथ शुरुआत करेगी। यहाँ ट्रॉफी नहीं मिलनी थी, सिर्फ मोमेंटम, और टीम हिंद ने इसी चीज को टारगेट बनाया। उन्होंने लॉबी डोमिनेट करने की कोशिश नहीं की, हर गेम में अननेसेसरी फाइट्स नहीं ली, जहां अपॉर्चुनिटी मिली वहां कैपिटलाइज किया। और जब मैच 5 आया, टीम हिंद ने पूरे पॉइंट रश का अपना बेस्ट परफॉर्मेंस दिया। एक और ग्रेनेड यहाँ पर से को खेला जाएगा,
बिल्कुल अकेले, नीचे 3 खिलाड़ी अकेले डैश करेंगे एंड देयर कम्स द टीम हिंद विद द बूया बूया बूया।
19 एलिमिनेशन के साथ बूया, एक स्टेटमेंट गेम। दिन के एंड तक टीम हिंद ओवरऑल 3rd प्लेस पर फिनिश हुई। रिवॉर्ड मिला 5 हेड स्टार्ट पॉइंट्स।
ग्रैंड फाइनल्स में तो हमारा स्टार्टिंग में टारगेट यही था कि हमको 3 से 4 गेम में चैंपियन रश ऑन करना है, बट ऐसा हुआ कि हमारे गेम्स बहुत ज्यादा एवरेज चले गए कुछ रीजंस की वजह से।
चैंपियन रश डे की शुरुआत हुई और शुरुआती 4 मैचेस में एक बात क्लियर हो गई, ये टूर्नामेंट किसी एक टीम का नहीं होने वाला था। हर गेम का हीरो अलग था। मैच 1 में फायर आइज गेमिंग ने पेस सेट किया। मैच 2 में गॉडलाइक ईस्पोर्ट्स ने लॉबी कंट्रोल कर ली। उसके बाद RNX ईस्पोर्ट्स ने बैक टू बैक बुयाज लेकर पूरा लीडर बोर्ड हिला दिया। हर मैच के बाद स्टैंडिंग्स बदल रही थी, हर फाइट टाइटल रेस को एक नई डायरेक्शन दे रही थी, और टीम हिंद वो क्वाइटली रेस के अंदर बनी रही। चैंपियन रश फॉर्मेट में कभी कभी सरवाइव करते रहना लीड करने से भी ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट होता है, क्योंकि जब बाकी टीम्स एक गेम में टॉप करती और अगले गेम में क्रैश हो जाती, वहीं टीम हिंद कभी पिक्चर से बाहर नहीं हुई, वो बस अपने मोमेंट का वेट कर रही थी।
फिर उसके बाद हमको अपना गेम प्लान चेंज करना पड़ा।
फिर हमारा बरमुदा मैप आया जिसमें हमको ज्यादा एलिमिनेशंस की नीड थी, तो हमने उसी के हिसाब से उस गेम को खेला और
5th और 6th गेम में बहुत ज्यादा एग्रेसिव गए, तो उससे अपने को बहुत ज्यादा फायदा हुआ।
4 मैचेस बीत चुके थे। टीम हिंद अब भी अपने ब्रेक थ्रू का इंतजार कर रही थी, और दूसरी तरफ गॉडलाइक ईस्पोर्ट्स धीरे धीरे चैंपियनशिप के सबसे बड़े कंटेंडर्स बन के उभर चुकी थी। हर पासिंग गेम के साथ प्रेशर बढ़ता जा रहा था। अब एक और एवरेज मैच का ऑप्शन ही नहीं था। इसी बीच आई एक रोटेशन केप टाउन से कोटाटुआ की तरफ, और वही हुआ जिसने टीम हिंद के टूर्नामेंट की डायरेक्शन ही बदल दी। सीधा सामने थे डिफेंडिंग चैंपियंस आईक्यू टोटल गेमिंग। ये सिर्फ एक और स्क्वाड फाइट नहीं थी, आईक्यू टोटल गेमिंग के लिए ये चैंपियनशिप रेस में बने रहने का मौका था, और टीम हिंद के लिए ये वो फाइट थी जो उनके पूरे टूर्नामेंट को या तो जिंदा रख सकती थी या वहीं खत्म कर सकती थी।
सामने की तरफ से टीम हिंद इसके ऊपर अटैक करती हुई इस समय पर लीड आगे बढ़ते हुए बुलविन को डाउन करने की कोशिश है। माफिया ही इज द लास्ट मैन स्टैंडिंग बिकॉज़ आईक्यू टोटल गेमिंग इज येट टू टच द 80 पॉइंट्स मार्क। क्या माफिया अपने खिलाड़ियों को गेम के अंदर इस मुकाबले में वापस ला पाएंगे? जी नहीं, 10वें पायदान पे आईक्यू टोटल गेमिंग का खात्मा होता हुआ।
और उस मोमेंट के बाद पूरा मैप टीम हिंद के लिए खुल गया, और धीरे धीरे लॉबी सिर्फ 3 स्क्वाड्स तक सीमित हो गई। अब टीम हिंद सिर्फ रेस में नहीं थी, अब पूरी लॉबी को पता चल चुका था ये टीम चैंपियनशिप जीत भी सकती है।
हमको तो शुरू से ऐसे गेम की नीड थी चैंपियन बनने के लिए, क्योंकि एवरेज सा ही गेम हमारा जा रहा था शुरू से, या फिर आप फर्स्ट देख लो, सेकंड देख लो, थर्ड देख लो, पूरी टीम मतलब बूस्टअप हो जाए और चैंपियन की तरफ आगे बढ़े।
गुजरात, कैन यू फील द फायर?
मैच 5 ने टीम हिंद के चैंपियनशिप ड्रीम को दोबारा जिंदा कर दिया, लेकिन अगले 2 गेम्स उस ड्रीम को फिर से तोड़ने पर आ गए। मैच 6 8th प्लेस फिनिश।
बट वो सोलारा वाला मैच में हमने थोड़ी सी गलती की, कोऑर्डिनेशन में इशू आया, वो फाइट अपन हार गए।
हाँ, एक चीज जरूर हुई, टीम हिंद ने चैंपियन रश एक्टिवेट कर लिया।
तो चैंपियन रश ऑन होने के बाद हमारी स्ट्रेटजी में हमने चेंज लाया था, क्योंकि उससे पहले हमने बहुत सारे टूर्नामेंट्स में भी प्रैक्टिस की थी जब चैंपियन रश ऑन होने के बाद बुया करने की, तो फिर हम उसी स्ट्रेटजी के साथ आगे गए थे।
चैंपियन रश सिर्फ आपका ऑब्जेक्टिव चेंज नहीं करता, पूरी लॉबी का गेम प्लान बदल देता है। अब हर टीम को पता था टीम हिंद को बस एक और बुया चाहिए, सिर्फ एक, और चैंपियनशिप खत्म। प्रेशर सिर्फ टीम हिंद पर नहीं था, प्रेशर उन हर टीम पर था जो उन्हें उस एक बुया से रोकना चाहती थी।
फिर अपने को नेक्स्ट गेम में चांस मिला एंड हम सेम स्ट्रेटजी के साथ गए।
मैच 7 में गॉड लाइक के अगेंस्ट एक रिस्की पुश, और इस बार सब कुछ उल्टा पड़ गया।
हिंद को होल्ड बैक नहीं करना चाह रहे, स्क्वाड को स्पॉट आउट करा, स्पॉट करते ही अंदर घुसे टीम गॉड लाइक, दे आर इन ट्रबल। यहाँ पर से मार्को को भी गिरा दिया जाएगा, केडी गॉर्डन बुलविन वो भी नॉकआउट होते हुए नजर आने वाले। साहिल जाट एक लौटे खिलाड़ी, उनको भी करा बाहर।
टीम हिंद लॉबी की पहली एलिमिनेटेड स्क्वाड बन गई। जो मोमेंटम मैच 5 में बना था वो एक ही गेम में रुक सा गया।
तो मतलब हम 7th मैच में जब एलिमिनेट हुए तो मतलब सब वैसे ही सैड हो गए, फिर डिमोटिवेट टाइप के होने लगे। फिर जैसे ही हमने देखा कि 7th मैच में आरएनटी ने बुया करा, तो फिर मतलब सब एकदम ऐसे खुश हो गए और फिर एक दूसरे में मतलब चेयर अप करने लगे कि मतलब अब तो करना ही है, अब तो चैंपियन बनना ही है।
अब हर मिस हुई बुया सिर्फ पॉइंट्स का नुकसान नहीं थी, वो बाकी टीम्स को एक और चीज दे रही थी, होप। मैच 7 के बाद इक्वेशन बिल्कुल बदल चुकी थी। चैंपियन रश एक्टिवेट करने वाली 7 टीम्स में वो सबसे पीछे थे, लीडर बोर्ड के लीडर से 24 पॉइंट्स पीछे। पहली बार चैंपियनशिप इतनी दूर लग रही थी। फाइनल गेम शुरू हुई।
उस मैच में हमारे साथ अनएक्सपेक्टेड चीजें भी हुई थी कि हमने एक स्प्लिट लिया था कमांड और स्टोन रिच पर, और हमारे पे पूरी टीम आ गई थी एक स्प्लिट पर। तो साहिल उधर स्टोन रिच पे मर गया और हमारा शोटो और मैं कमांड पे थे। तो वो फाइट इतनी जरूरी थी निकालनी, क्योंकि अगर वो फाइट हार जाते तो हमारी पूरी टीम एलिमिनेट हो जाती।
पड़ेगा डिलीट एंड चेक इन कुछ इस दौरान 2 खिलाड़ी सर्वाइव करेंगे और माफिया से लॉन्च पैड से निकल जाएंगे। कैश टेक में सफलता मिलेगी, माफिया पे शॉट्स लिए गए और काफी जगह चोट लेकर गए।
अब सिर्फ एक ऑब्जेक्टिव था, फाइनल सर्कल तक पहुंचना। 4 टीम्स, चारों चैंपियन रश पर, एक ट्रॉफी, एक फाइनल सर्कल। जो ये गेम जीतेगा वही चैंपियन बनेगा। जोन और कोलैप्स हुई, अब कवर खत्म हो रहा था और इसी मोमेंट पर टीम हिंद ने सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट डिसीजन लिया। बाकी टीम्स हेजिटेट कर रही थी, टीम हिंद पहले मूव कर गई। रिस्क था, लेकिन उस रिस्क में उन्हें सबसे वैल्यूएबल चीज थी, पोजीशन। अब बाकी टीम्स स्पेस के लिए लड़ रही थी और टीम हिंद के पास ऑलरेडी वो स्पेस थी। जोन के दूसरे साइड फायरस गेमिंग और आईक्यू टोटल गेमिंग एक डेस्परेट फाइट में उलझ चुके थे। दोनों जानती थी ये फाइट हारते ही टूर्नामेंट खत्म। दूसरी तरफ आरएनएक्स ने टीम हिंद पर प्रेशर बनाने की कोशिश की, लेकिन बेटर पोजीशनिंग का एडवांटेज टीम हिंद के पास था। पुश डाउन किया और आरएनएक्स एलिमिनेट, और अब सिर्फ 2 टीम्स बच गई थी, फायरस गेमिंग और टीम हिंद।
थोड़ा सा डैमेज होते हुए नजर आएंगे, बढ़ेंगे आगे की और स्काइलर का प्रयोग, ट्रोल को यहाँ पर से डैमेज अकेला गिरा, शॉटो करेंगे ट्रोल के ऊपर अटैक है, ट्रोल को क्रैश जाएगा नॉकआउट। प्रिंस एक लौटे खिलाड़ी, उनको भी करा बाहर। प्लेस फ्री फॉर मैक्स इंडिया कप 2026 स्प्रिंग के विनर्स हमारे सामने, दे आर नन अदर देन टीम हिंद।
चैंपियनशिप्स सिर्फ फाइनल बुया से याद नहीं रखी जाती, ना सिर्फ ट्रॉफी लिफ्ट से, ना सेलिब्रेशन से और ना ही कॉन्फेटी से। उनकी फाउंडेशन उससे बहुत पहले पड़ती है। मेटा को समझने में, स्क्रिम्स के एंडलेस आवर्स में, हर हार के बाद हुई अनकंफर्टेबल डिस्कशंस में और उस बिलीफ में जो कभी टूटने नहीं दिया गया। टीम हिंद ने TEZ FFMIC 2026 स्प्रिंग इसीलिए नहीं जीता क्योंकि वो परफेक्ट थी, उन्होंने इसलिए जीता क्योंकि जब जब टूर्नामेंट ने उन्हें टेस्ट किया, हर बार उनके पास एक जवाब था। और अब एक नया चैप्टर शुरू हो रहा है। इस बार टीम हिंद के नाम से नहीं, टीम एपेक्स गेमिंग के नाम से। अब बाकी टीम्स ट्रॉफी के पीछे नहीं भागेंगे, वो भागेंगे डिफेंडिंग चैंपियंस के पीछे, क्योंकि फॉल सीजन में हर टीम का टारगेट एक होगा, टीम एपेक्स गेमिंग।
इस टाइटल को हमारे को डिफेंड करना एक बहुत बड़ी चीज़ है, क्योंकि हमारी अब रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी और ज़्यादा बढ़ गई है। जैसे कि हम और भी जानकारी और फैंस भी हमारे बहुत सारे नए जुड़े हैं हमारे साथ, तो हमारी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है कि उनको निराश ना करना। एंड इस बार कंपटीशन भी बहुत ज़्यादा रहने वाला है, क्योंकि जो लास्ट टाइम टीम्स थी वो भी हैं और काफ़ी सारी नई टीम्स भी आई हैं, तो डेफिनेटली कंपटीशन बढ़ा है एंड उसलिए हमको भी उसके लिए और ज़्यादा मेहनत करनी पड़ेगी।
हमको इंटरनेशनल एक्सपोजर चाहिए था, तो हमने वो अचीव करा है। AWC 2026 के स्लॉट को अर्न करा है और मतलब अपने आप को मतलब प्रूव करेंगे AWC में, ताकि अपने फैंस को निराश ना करें।
हर चैंपियनशिप में एक ऐसा प्लेयर होता है जो सिर्फ स्कोर बोर्ड पर नहीं, पूरे टूर्नामेंट की कहानी पर अपना नाम लिख देता है। TEZ FFMIC 2026 स्प्रिंग के लिए वो प्लेयर था हिंद वुल्विन। 22 एलिमिनेशन, 8300 प्लस डैमेज और ग्रैंड फाइनल्स का मोस्ट वैल्यूएबल प्लेयर।
जब मुझे MVP का टाइटल मिला तो मैं बहुत खुश था, क्योंकि मैंने इसी के लिए बहुत प्रैक्टिस करी थी। मेरे घर वाले भी बहुत खुश थे, क्योंकि वो देख रहे थे और उन्होंने देखा कि मुझे MVP मिला और चैंपियन हम बने। आपकी नज़रों में मैं MVP हूँ, बट मेरी नज़रों में मेरी पूरी टीम है, मतलब टीम वर्क ही मेरे लिए सबसे ज़्यादा है।
एक सफर यही खत्म होता है और एक नया सफर शुरू। अब बारी है टीम एपेक्स गेमिंग के बैनर के नीचे अपने टाइटल को डिफेंड करने की। TEZ FFMIC 2026 फॉल के दौरान हम लेकर आएंगे और भी बिहाइंड द सीन्स स्टोरीज, एक्सक्लूसिव प्लेयर इंटरव्यूज और टूर्नामेंट की हर बड़ी कहानी सबसे करीब से।
एंड होप सो इस बार भी हम वो टाइटल को जीतें।
तेज फ्री फायर मैक्स इंडिया कप आ गया है वापस, और इस बार पहले से भी ज्यादा बड़ा। फॉर्ज योर लेगेसी के लिए तैयार हो जाइए, क्योंकि इस फॉल हम लेकर आ रहे हैं ज्यादा सिटीज, ज्यादा टीम्स और चैंपियंस बनने के और भी ज्यादा मौके। जर्नी की शुरुआत होगी 4 हफ्तों के सिटी क्वालिफायर से। हर हफ्ते 3 सिटीज फीचर होंगी, यानी पूरे भारत में कुल 12 सिटीज। हर सिटी में पहली 144 टीम्स कंपटीशन में उतरेंगी, एक ही गोल के साथ, अपनी सिटी का चैंपियन बनना। पार्टिसिपेशन क्राइटेरिया पिछले सीजन जैसा ही रहेगा। अगर कोई टीम अपने पहले अटेम्प्ट में क्वालिफाई नहीं कर पाती, तो वो किसी दूसरे हफ्ते के क्वालिफायर्स में फिर से हिस्सा ले सकती है। सिटी क्वालिफायर्स फेज के आखिर में हर सिटी से एक चैंपियन टीम अगले स्टेज में जाएगी, यानी कुल 12 टीम्स। तेज FFMIC 2026 फॉल के लिए क्वालिफाई करने का सिर्फ यही तरीका नहीं है। इन गेम FFC मोड 5 जुलाई को वापस आएगा। जो भी टीम्स क्राइटेरिया पूरा करेंगी, वो इन गेम FFC क्वालिफायर्स में हिस्सा ले सकेंगी। इस बार कुल 66 टीम्स FFC क्वालिफायर्स से क्वालिफाई करेंगी और सिटी क्वालिफायर विनर्स के साथ अगले स्टेज में जाएंगी। जी हाँ, इस सीजन FFC क्वालिफायर्स के लिए 28 एक्स्ट्रा स्लॉट्स जोड़े गए हैं। 12 सिटी क्वालिफायर विनर्स और FFC क्वालिफायर्स से आई 66 टीम्स अब नए प्लेन स्टेज में जाएंगी। इन 78 टीम्स के साथ तेज FFMIC 2026 स्प्रिंग में 7th to 12th प्लेस पर रहने वाली टीम्स भी जुड़ेंगी, जिससे कुल 84 टीम्स बनेंगी। प्लेन स्टेज एक हफ्ते तक चलेगा और 20 से 26 जुलाई तक फ्री फायर मैक्स Esports इंडिया के ऑफिशियल YouTube चैनल पर लाइव ब्रॉडकास्ट होगा। 84 टीम्स को 12-12 टीम्स वाले 7 ग्रुप्स में बांटा जाएगा। प्लेन्स के अंत में हर ग्रुप की सिर्फ टॉप 6 टीम्स आगे बढ़ेंगी, यानी कुल 42 टीम्स ग्रुप स्टेज में जाएंगी। तेज FFMIC 2026 स्प्रिंग फाइनल्स की टॉप 6 टीम्स सीधे ग्रुप स्टेज में एंटर करेंगी, जिससे कुल 48 टीम्स बनेगी। ये स्टेज पिछले सीजन जैसा ही रहेगा, जहां हर रिजल्ट फाइनल राउंड्स की रेस को शेप देगा। सिर्फ सबसे मजबूत और कंसिस्टेंट टीम्स ही सर्वाइव कर पाएंगी और चैंपियनशिप होप्स जिंदा रखेंगी। 48 टीम्स को वीक 1 के लिए 12-12 टीम्स वाले 4 ग्रुप्स में बांटा जाएगा। 6 से 9 अगस्त तक हर ग्रुप कुल 6 गेम्स खेलेगा और हर ग्रुप की टॉप 9 टीम्स ग्रुप स्टेज वीक 2 में जाएंगी, जो 14 से 16 अगस्त तक चलेगा। वीक 2 में पहुंची 36 टीम्स को शफल करके 3 ग्रुप्स में बांटा जाएगा। अब स्टेक्स और भी ऊंचे होंगे, क्योंकि हर ग्रुप की सिर्फ टॉप 6 टीम्स अगले स्टेज नॉकआउट स्टेज में जाएंगी। अब गलतियों की गुंजाइश बहुत कम होगी, वापसी के मौके कम होंगे और हर मैच के असली कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस होंगे। 18 एलीट टीम्स नॉकआउट स्टेज वीक 1 में राउंड रॉबिन फॉर्मेट में भिड़ेंगी 28 से 30 अगस्त तक। वीक 1 की टॉप 12 टीम्स वीक 2 डे 1 4 सितंबर को खेलेंगी। डे 1 के आखिर में टॉप 2 टीम्स सीधे ग्रैंड फाइनल्स के लिए क्वालिफाई करेंगी। बाकी 10 टीम्स 5 सितंबर को डे 2 खेलेंगी और उनके साथ वीक 1 की #13 और #14 टीम्स जुड़ेंगी। 6 इंटेंस गेम्स के बाद डे 2 की टॉप 2 टीम्स भी सीधे ग्रैंड फाइनल्स में जाएंगी। बाकी 10 टीम्स फिर से 6 सितंबर को डे 3 पर खेलेंगी और उनके साथ वीक 1 की #15 और #16 टीम्स जुड़ेंगी। एक बार फिर डे 3 की टॉप 2 टीम्स ग्रैंड फाइनल्स में क्वालिफाई करेंगी। लेकिन बाकी टीम्स की जर्नी अभी खत्म नहीं होगी। नॉकआउट स्टेज वीक 3 ग्रैंड फाइनल्स क्वालिफाई करने का आखिरी मौका होगा। वीक 2 डे 3 की बची हुई 10 टीम्स के साथ वीक 1 की #17 और #18 टीम्स जुड़ेंगी। 11 सितंबर से 12 टीम्स 3 दिनों तक फाइट करेंगी और सिर्फ टॉप 6 टीम्स ग्रैंड फाइनल्स में जाएंगी, उन 6 टीम्स के साथ जो पहले ही क्वालिफाई कर चुकी हैं। ग्रैंड फाइनल्स 2 दिनों तक होंगे। डेट्स और वेन्यू बाद में अनाउंस किए जाएंगे। ग्रैंड फाइनल्स डे 1 पॉइंट रश फॉर्मेट में खेला जाएगा। टीम्स को पॉइंट्स बिल्ड करने होंगे, प्रेशर में सरवाइव करना होगा और सही समय पर परफॉर्म करना होगा। 12 टीम्स कुल 6 गेम्स खेलेंगी और टॉप 6 टीम्स डे 2 ग्रैंड फाइनल्स के लिए हेड स्टार्ट पॉइंट्स अर्न करेंगी। जो टीम पहले 90 पॉइंट्स तक पहुंचेगी उसके लिए चैंपियन रश एक्टिवेट हो जाएगा और चैंपियन रश एक्टिवेट होने के बाद जो टीम सबसे पहले बूया करेगी वही तेज FFMIC 2026 फॉल की चैंपियन बनेगी और ट्रॉफी उठाएगी। ज्यादा सिटीज, ज्यादा क्वालिफिकेशन चांसेस और ज्यादा अपॉर्चुनिटीज के साथ कोई भी चैलेंज स्वीकार कर सकता है, लेकिन आखिर में सिर्फ एक टीम अपनी लेगेसी फोर्ज करेगी और तेज फ्री फायर मैक्स इंडिया कप 2026 फॉल की चैंपियन कहलाएगी।
Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome to TEZ Free Fire Max India Cup Fall 2026. This is the 5th day of the play-ins action and up until now the action has been quite phenomenal. We obviously had some very easy to predict, very obvious people qualifying like IQ, OG, XTST yesterday, but then again some big names like Arise Esports have been eliminated earlier on. So when we get to the 5th day, I really don't know what's in store for us today, except I can guarantee you this, that me and my brother Raka are going to witness some cracking good games, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Just to add on to a good pointers for whatever you have told so far, I do believe that this time we have some strong teams who are going to be joining in. Not only the T1 teams, I'm just going to give you one heads up. The number 1 qualified from FFC Mode team is also competing today.
Yeah, we have some really heavy hitters today. The number 1 team of the FFC mode coming through. We have a team that has managed to dominate the city qualifiers also coming through over here. We'll talk about those teams later, but let's first talk about the journey they will have to go through, because right now this is the 5th day of play-ins. Every single day we've been seeing 12 teams play and only 6 of them have been qualifying. That means in the play-in state itself, half the teams out of the total 84 teams will be eliminated. Right here and now, they will not live to see group stage. In group stage, however, the 42 teams that
that do make it from the play-ins will join the other 6 finalists, the best of the best of that India has to offer. The finalists from the FFMIC will join them. And once again, they will be broken down into 4 groups of 12 teams each. And after that, once they get to the knockout stage, out of the 18 teams that make it to the knockout stage, that means 30 will be eliminated in the group stage. Out of those 18 teams, only 12 will qualify for the grand finals.
Oh, this couldn't have been better, ladies and gentlemen. But now we are at the plains where we are on the 5th day of these plains, where we have Group E playing today on the 24th of July. But we still have 2 more days to go, right? It feels like it has just started yesterday and already we have finished 5 days. Nonetheless, today, the 5th day, it's going to be much more interesting because all these teams are still fighting for the big prize pool of 1 crore rupees.
Yep, and out of that, the champions gets the lion's share of 35 lakhs. The team that comes in second will only get 17 lakhs. And similarly, the amount of money you get will keep on reducing. But the silver lining over here is it's not just the finalists who will get this money, but even if you make it to the knockout stage, just by getting into the top 18, you will get a minimum amount of 77,500 rupees. Obviously, that's nothing compared to 35 lakhs. But the MVP will also get 1,50,000 rupees for himself. And the way to get all this money is to earn as many points as possible. Most of you are familiar with the point system already. If you get a booyah, you get 12 points. And similarly, the amount of points you get keep reducing with each fall in placement, with each elimination being 1 point each. We've not needed to use a tiebreaker system so hard up until now. But if at all there's a tie, we'll first see the number of booyahs, then the number of eliminations, and then the ranking in the latest game. And obviously, all of you remember the one unique active skill rule. Each player in the team needs to use a different active skill. Obviously, these are all things that you were already aware of, but in case somebody has forgotten these or somebody's new to the tournament, I welcome you all. And this is why the tournament is going to be super interesting, because the meta has been turning.
Absolutely right. The permutation and combination, every single time we see a new team coming up with some old combinations and still walking away with a phenomenal booyah and number of eliminations. But the teams playing today, this is what we were speaking about. We have got NG Pros, the big dogs out there. Sadly, they don't have one of their key players in the previous round. That is, I do believe,
It's
Cropsy. Yes, Cropsy,
and
who's left
Cropsy
this
too.
team. So that means there's going to be a lot of changes in this team. And there's a lot of other teams as well. So let's see how it goes. As we look at their lineups, we have got CHILLMATES as well. Some well-known faces out here. But again, all of this is a clean slate for them to rewrite.
CHILLMATES tried to qualify from the Patna City qualifiers. They could not do it. They failed. And then they went to the Guwahati City qualifiers and they managed to qualify from there. So they've had a pretty difficult journey already. And ZUIPTS, on the other hand, were the #1 team in the FFC mode. They are the leaders of the FFC mode. And more importantly, they even played in the group stage of the previous season of FFMIC. So we have some very experienced, hard-hitting teams over here.
And then comes the underdogs themselves. We have JAYDEN Esports, Hawkeyes, Glenn, Pirates Esports, how do we call them? Westeros?
Westeros.
Probably.
It's a reference to a really famous fictional city.
Oh. So let's see whether these giants can actually live up to the name. And then we have got the team FTW. Most of these players in the scrims have been performing phenomenal and hoping to see some really good action coming in from their side as well.
Yes, and if you can take a look over here, up until now, we've seen that the teams that have already played in the previous stage of FFMIC or the teams that have come in from city qualifiers are generally more dominant than the FFC mode teams. At least in the last 4 days, that has been the trend. However, today we don't just have any other FFC teams. We have the FFC mode team. We have the #1 ranking team at ZUIPTS. And I think these guys are going to dominate quite a lot because FFC mode is a lot tougher than people think. So I have taken them as my #1 prediction. I mean, if not the #1, at least in my top 3 predictions. And obviously, I think that NG Pros will be in everybody's predictions today. They are like the obvious target over here. They were considered the most aggressive team in the country last season. Let's see if they can hold up their ante now.
Yeah, and I'm kind of inclined towards CHILLMATES and NG Pros for now because I know that these two teams have been doing really well. obviously, because one among them are invited and the other one have got a bit of experience. With them, I've just added JAYDEN Esports, because previously when I witnessed this team in the scrims, I feel like there's a spark in this team, and in case they're able to pick it up, we might see some really good action coming in from their side as well.
I really hope so that your prediction comes true, man, because I see that a lot of other casters, not just me, but even our brothers on the Hindi desk, a lot of them are going to choose NG Pros, CHILLMATES and ZUIPTS. They are the usual suspects, but then this again is the FFMIC, ladies and gentlemen, and it has always been full of surprises. We've already seen some pretty good twists and turns, so I'm hoping to see some underdogs also perform today, and if JAYDEN Esports is one of them, then I'll be very happy for them.
Now let's see how it all turns out, guys, because we feel that it's going to be a new day altogether when it comes to all these actions out there. But again, the game schedule for the day is going to make things even more refreshing. We're going to start with the default map, head on to the biggest map, and then go to a map which is full of entertainment.
Yep, Bermuda, the map of the most entertainment. We will be starting off with that. Then we go to Purgatory. In my opinion, that's one of the harder places to go to. And then we have Next Era. Those are going to be the first 3 games that we will be casting. And after that, our other casting brothers will be taking over. But Arka, take a look at this, man. Now, I know that we've always taken the preferred drop spots with a pinch of salt. Some of these teams do not like to tell us the truth about where they actually are going. But if this diagram is true, even if 75% of it's true, even if we see a 3-team peak battle, I think this is going to be peak cinema, bro.
Oh, yesterday some teams did not disappoint us when it comes to the peak battle, but this time around, since Pochinok Factory and Mars Selected seems to be empty, including Sentosa, I do believe that we might get betrayed when we look at this drop spots. Nonetheless, this is where I would like to bring your the expertise, to be frank, because I've seen the audience have been phenomenal when it comes to their prediction. They've also been very actively following all the lads out there. So do let us know which teams, which among the teams you feel is going to walk away with the booyah in the first game.
Yep. Please let us know in the prediction, ladies and gentlemen. Please let us know in the comments. And a lot of these people in the audiences have been pointing out the difference in NG Pros that we see in this season. 2 of their key players are missing. Cropsy, who was regarded as the most aggressive rusher last season, has joined Team Elite. Then you also have Struggle, who instead of being in NG Pros has gone on to join Retired Pros, a team that you will see on Sunday in Group G. So with all these changes coming through, I do not know if NG Pros can be the most dominant team in the lobby, even though they are the most established team over here.
It all depends, right? The new players like Gopu was previously playing in a very big org. It comes back over here. He wants to fill in a spot. He's got a lot of experience before this. We have seen him perform well. So somewhere I feel like, NG Pros have got that probably spark in them to actually tabletop. But again, let's not forget that there are several other strong teams. We spoke about CHILLMATES, right? Imagine not winning in one city qualifiers and you dare to go to another one where you're confident, you learn from your mistakes, and then you go in and execute and then qualify from there. That's a statement by itself.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of effort taken, man. And first of all, a lot of these people were not even from Patna. So even to play in the Patna city qualifiers, they had to travel over there. So imagine going all over the country just to get into this competition. And they've done it, man. Like, they grew so much between the Patna and the Guwahati city qualifiers. It is amazing to see their progress. And if they will go through the hardships that they will face today, and if they continue persevering, then I think they will grow even more. And we've seen what happens to some city qualifiers teams. They turn into demons by the end of the group stage, and this time the play-ins and the group stage both will compound all of that skill. So I don't just want to see some underdogs perform today. I mean, I always want to see that, but I also want to see some of these underdogs have a bit of a growth arc, have their own redemption arc. So let's see whether or not we will find any of this character development today, ladies and gentlemen. But to start off this cinema, we will begin with the best map, Bermuda, and it's gonna be on your screens in just a couple of moments, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands together for Group E.
Group E, ladies and gentlemen, in the most default map you guys could ever witness. It's the map of Bermuda. I know you guys love this map as you have played this the most, and the survivors are off as the flight path starts all the way from Mars Electric, ending towards the shipyard region. Every other team could just respect one another, do not need to get into drop clashes, which apparently is what these teams don't like. And ultimately, that leads to an entertainment we always ask for.
So Nighthawks won't be facing anybody else as a drop clash in Sentosa. CHILLMATES going towards Mars Electric. Factory occupied by Westeros. Apex 7 and FTW heading towards Hangar. Alright, Arka, I think we know where our first fight is going to be. I would have said that I expected a peak fight because Dave from Glen Esports is also going over there, but he's a solo guy up against a whole other team, so this will be difficult. Apex 7 landing just a tad bit before FTW. Yeah, a botched up landing can land you in a lot of trouble. Now all the Apex members heading up the staircase. They're ready to go in for the full send. Apex 7 desperately trying to catch up with FTW, but they've acquired the weapons. And AN94, that's all they've got. Time turner pop, they dance in and out of it. Ayan gets the first knock. Raging responds in kind. Danish, he overstays his welcome but gets the knock onto empty before he finally drops down. Great recovery from Apex 7 so far, but there have been no confirmations yet. And because Apex 7 don't go up on the roof, there is a possibility of a res coming through. They don't get the res onto empty, and this is still a problem. IpcoBot down again. Apex 7 getting 3 eliminations on the trot. Just one more left to find.
Oh, the one player who just ran away to the nearest revival point. A clever move coming in from their side. But again, we see another fight take place at a distance. It's 1xe who have reigned supreme in one of the fights. Even though it's a fair trade, Vishal is running out in the open against a P90. Needs to be careful with the dual vector. He knows that he can take it, but was it a landmine or was it a shot which connected? Nonetheless, he gets taken down and gets confirmed as well. As long as the team is able to pick up points, the opponents are going to keep smiling.
Yeah, oh my god, look at him. Not just smile, but take a bullet in his face. I don't think he's going to be smiling much after that. Destiny gets rezzed, but 100x Esports down to their last player, Mohsin. Had he not survived a couple of more moments, then Destiny wouldn't even have a chance to get rezzed. But he buys this time some crucial time. JD God and Vishal will also be back online soon. They don't need to do much. They still have their second chances. But at ZUIPTS splitting up 2-2. Iconic and Safik going up above the hill. The rest of ZUIPTS still moving around and looking for Mohsin. They haven't found him yet.
Mohsin, the slithering snake. Look at him, so clever. Holding on that position. Now he's got the whole city under his control. He can just fall back and get the revivals through. But on the other side, Golden, he's got to be pushing to put down aimbot as his teammate's agent is going to get knocked. And the confirmation might not follow because this team, I think, have got their backs covered. They've got a UAV in the air to get the information about whoever is coming close by. And that means they can expect another elimination in the pocket. A total of 2 in their name. But what a shot coming in from the side of Ayan. Jumps right through the window. Make sure he connects that shot. 6 eliminations already for A7 Apex. And they're doing really good for their name.
Yeah, Apex 7 chasing their opponents all the way down to Rimnam village. That is some dedication right there, man. FTW, however, they have survived their entire encounter, so they should be getting their members back one by one. However, at ZUIPTS were also looking for 100x Esports. They did not find them. So 100x Esports have successfully escaped, and Destiny gets the res onto 2 of their players. I mean, the way Apex 7 were chasing their opponents, ZUIPTS tried to do it, but they couldn't. But they find Vishal yet again. And this is round 2 for ZUIPTS versus 100x Esports.
Yeah, absolutely. This time around, we see that both these teams have got a fair trade. But at ZUIPTS, they have done a bit more better as they get 6 eliminations already. This is what I was speaking about. This group seems like it's filled, it's power-packed because a lot of these teams, they do not shy away from early fights. Every other team who have watched the first 4 days have understood they need to get those early eliminations.
Ooh, another team that really wants those early eliminations and is extremely capable of getting it is NG Pros. They are now hunting down Apex 7. Apex 7 came down to Rimnam village in search of FTW but found a much stronger opponent. Let's see how they can survive this encounter though, because they've already lost a couple of their members. Even though they got the reses, anyone who was revived will go down yet again. NG Pros take no prisoners. Meanwhile, Aizen is just hanging on for dear life. He gets the knock onto Gopu, but that's of no use because there's backup right around the corner and Gopu will be revived instantly.
Look at them, everybody, perfect teamwork coming in from the side of NG Pros. Each of them get 2 eliminations as Badal has got just 1 for himself. But the opponents right now, they shy away from this, they run away from this. All these teams out there, they need to watch out for their backs, and this is what happens. Clown hopefully got that revival as aimbot He's going to be smiling with that one elimination he got out there.
Yeah.
The risk was worth taking for CM. As Raju OP, as soon as he put that player down,
Wow.
he just stepped out and looked at the skies
Hold
because
up.
he knows that somebody's flying down.
Sorry to interrupt you there, Alka, but take a look at this. CHILLMATES, they went all the way from Mars Electric to Factory. They lost 2 of their players over there, rest them here in Vimazakti Strip, and now they have been awarded a free res as well. I mean, yeah, they lost 2 of their players, they can get the res, but more importantly, a free elimination, that too onto FTW. Poor FTW guys, they've been on the run all around, man. They were chased down to Rimnam village. Now finally FTW manages to res all their players, so do CHILLMATES. But these 2 teams have had to rotate so much just to keep themselves alive, and they don't have enough eliminations to show for it. And that is going to be a massive talking point over here today, the disparity between teams like FTW and NG Pros. While NG Pros continue to farm everybody, teams like FTW are just running around donating them points and getting reses. Now NG Pros have locked ons against ZUIPTS. It's the #1 FFC team. Can they take down the champions of the yesteryear? I don't think they can. Badal and Gopu are just looking too sharp. King tries to get into the vehicle, tries to run away, but his vehicle will be blown apart. Forced to put up that glue wall. I don't think anyone can save King over here. Their last hope, their last survivor is just a few houses away. But can Abhinav escape? I do not know.
I think he has escaped successfully. But look at how NG Pros have been phenomenal. It's Gopu, the fearless lad, who just steps up front on the enemies because he knows that he's got that perfect backup. And that's how confident a team can turn out to be. But for now, Pirates not got any kind of eliminations, but they're playing it safe. They know that they need to survive. They've got Glenn right in front of them. There's another set of teams who are flying in the air. So everybody needs to be careful as to how they rotate inside the circle, because the circle is now betrayed, all of them, and head towards the clock tower region.
Oh, now that's going to be a problem. CHILLMATES have to fight their way into the zone. Their first target done for already. JD got taken out, and with that, the first team to fall is going to be 100x Esports.
Pirates, they've got a launch pad in front of them, and that keeps them away from all the other teams for the longest time possible. But yes, they need to have a binocular just to make sure that they jump in the right corner of the circle. Most of these teams have already started to occupy the circle, and that could be a bit more dangerous. They've got vehicles as well, and they choose to traverse through vehicle rather than using that launcher. Now this is some decision.
I hope it's a decent decision, because Glenn and JAYDEN don't seem to be backing off. They really want to commit to this fight, even though that they have to get into the zone. JAYDEN down the hill, gets shot by Prissy. That's amazing. Oh, Curse. Can you survive this one? Flash not quick enough, not living up to his name. He gets the knock onto Curse though, but only an MP5 doesn't let him get that confirmation in time. So Curse can be picked back up. Glenn Esports recovering pretty well.
Yeah, but the sniper, Aizen, what a shot that was. And that kind of confidence he carries could be a phenomenal, positivity for the whole team, to be frank, because they know very well that if there's a frontline assaulter who can do so well, at the same time a sniper who can cover him perfectly, I believe the team can do wonders throughout the day. Nonetheless, speak about wonders, and we have NG Pros who have got 12 eliminations already. White Ghost with 4, and the rest of the squads with 3, and Badal with 2. I can expect at least a 25-pointer game when it comes to eliminations from NG Pros by the way they're playing.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, 12 eliminations in the second circle itself kind of means that you will have a lot more by the time the game is done. But Rade also is racking up the eliminations. Camp in that vending machine from the factory angle above. They needed to use a launch pad to get up on top of this roof here. But now that they've acquired it, I don't think they want to leave it anytime soon. They've got a great space for the next circle too. Pirates, on the other hand, will have to get over the other side. CHILLMATES trying to challenge them from below the hill. Now, Pirates have a decent spread. Dilip will have to provide some good cover from above. But Sushant is kind of locked in this 1v1 with Reflexer. Let's see who's got the faster reflexes. Great damage dealt onto Sushant, but his teammates can't support him. Glenn Esports steal that elimination away. Excuse me, where did you come from? CHILLMATES and Pirates lock in each other's arms. Oh my lord. Now even CHILLMATES are in trouble. At least they get the res.
CHILLMATES need to evade from this fight because the angle being held by Glens has been phenomenal so far, and they've been changing position to make sure that they have an advantage. CHILLMATES on the other side, 3 of the players run away as Aimbot had got a good cover behind the tower. And now all these teams need to make sure they get inside the circle, because the circle this time around, ladies and gentlemen, do not have any kind of hard cover. So it's going to be an open battle, which I love to witness.
Ooh, yeah. This is going to be one of those dangerous circles where there's like one shack, one sniper tower, and like one arsenal in the zone. NG Pros have no problem clearing out their side of the circle. They are wiping the floor with ZUIPTS, and they haven't lost a single member yet. Yes, the remaining ZUIPTS members are still around the corner, but they find Suffolk. Even going underground is not going to help you. Now Iconic is running for his life, was running towards the vehicle, but it will not be allowed. Oh my god, and Rona gets hunted down underneath. NG Pros know every single angle that the opponents can try to escape to. And even though they split up and try to escape, there is nothing saving them. NG Pros advance into the circle, and they can take so much space over here. Look at that. That cell phone tower is now available to the NG Pros, so they can take that for cover. And JAYDEN Esports, yeah, they don't make it at all. Nighthawks, well, just like Hawks, they steal away at weak praise.
NG Pros, I mean, I'm not speaking this too early, I believe, because NG Pros looks like they have the best synergy in the lobby.
Oh, 100%.
Look at them. Every nook and cranny they come in, they've always packed up. It's always they have each other's back. Even the sniper himself, White Tiger, even though he's chasing someone alone, he knows the information. His teammates have given him the right kind of information that there's a solo player, and then and only then he does that. But the circle seems to be shying away from NG Pros every single time. That just aggravates them to get more eliminations, and that's what they've been doing.
Oh my god. CHILLMATES landing so many shots onto FTW, but they don't get any returns for that. Meanwhile, Nighthawk have been eliminated on the other side of the circle. And then look at this next shop. I mean, the salon, a building that the CHILLMATES are holding, is no longer in the zone, so they have to go uphill. But on the top of the hill, FTW and Glen Esports are already clashing with each other. FTW seem to be winning for the time being because MT gets that knock onto Aizen. Look at Flame, he goes for the dash, instant knocks onto 1 HP KO bot, and Reagan lands the final shot. MT comes through with a triple actually. Great stuff from FTW. They secure the top of this hill. They're safe for now, unless Westeros try to come in from the edge of the circle and try to take the high ground as well.
Oh, the chances are really high, my friend, because it's an open field. Only CM, that's got to be CHILLMATES. They've got a bit of hard cover. And guess what's happening out here? WSK are in trouble as the team comes in. But he gets finished off by a skill. And Pirates gets eliminated. WSQ, this squad looks unstoppable for now. But yes, they'll have to make it inside the circle. They use the binoculars. They get information. As well as NG Pros, they get pushed upon by Apex. Now, this is an interesting fight for sure.
Yeah, Apex in a bit of danger. They have no choice but to clash against NG Pros, so they have to meet their maker eventually. Anubhav comes through with a double knock. Badal gets Tanish. NG Pros are making quick work of Apex Esports. I think only Radhe is surviving for now. And I'm sure they'll find him as well.
It's a cakewalk for this team, basically.
Yeah.
They're doing everything possible in the lobby. They're like, okay, this is the easiest lobby we have been in. Probably it's the best map they play in because Bermuda has been the most successful map, and that's how they're going to be happy in how they're going to build up that momentum. But look at Radhe hiding behind the tree, trying to heal himself, and NG Pros know that he can't survive anymore. Anubhav gets in closer. He sees another fight take place. This time they're pushing a compound. We'll have to witness how this turns out.
Yeah, but CHILLMATES also need to leave that compound and get up towards where W Squad is holding. So W Squad has the chance to steal a lot of eliminations away from NG Pros, but Anubhav is landing nade after nade. He's doing so well. Gopo overextends. He will get finished off soon enough, but Reflexer and Raju, you better believe that NG Pros will avenge their fallen teammate. Reflexer already down. Raju getting peppered from both above and below. This is not a good spot to get stuck in. They find just enough space to provide the res onto Reflexer, but he goes down again. And this time he doesn't even go down to NG Pros, he goes down to Westeros. Oh my god, even Westeros are looking into this fight, and W Esports from top of the hill can gatekeep both of them.
I see an electrotherapy yet again from NG Pros as they push in. Sadly, it's going to be CHILLMATES who are stuck behind a rock and a hard cover. Two players have been tagged off, so they know the location of the opponents, but what's more important is how they're going to tackle Badal, who is already pushing in. There's a player, Reflexor, he comes outside, but eventually he gets stopped in one corner. There's another player pushing in. It's not going to be easy for them as both these players gets taken down. Raju OP from the backlines comes in to be the trump card, and that's the end of the story for the squad who was looking unstoppable so far. And all of a sudden, Westeros, they turn out to be the favorites with FTW to walk away with the booyah.
Yeah, Westeros were looking up at that fight since a very long time, and they picked the perfect time to third party. Now they just have to deal with one team. They've already dealt with the triple threat. They've already dealt with the biggest shark in the pond, and now they must take down FTW to confirm that booyah. Time Turner and Helio both have been popped to keep the Westeros in this game. They find the lock onto Rage and they try to isolate Empty as well. Successfully they've done that, but Agent retaliates. It's up to Clown 10, and he was trying to provide sniper cover from afar, but it's not been successful. Can't even get the confirmation because Golden goes right up towards that player and gets the res. The Golden teammate saves their lives. Clown has no choice but to pop the Morse, but even then they will discover him.
Oh no.
And they finally get their booyah. Westeros expanding their domain and taking the booyah in the first game of Group E.
The team least expected to walk away with the booyah has got to be Westeros, who get the first one. But NG Pros, they just let one man breathe from Apex 7, and he ultimately comes out to be the catalyst for their destruction. What a game this has turned out to be. I'm looking forward for the game standing because I know NG Pros have got really good points when it comes to eliminations, but have they done enough to survive in the top 5 at least to hold the top spot?
That is going to be the biggest question over here, definitely. Westeros, I did not see them get into any fight that they had no chance of winning. If the fight doesn't favor them, they just simply do not engage. They maintain their distance and they take control of the safest spots in the vicinity. They control that area, and that's how they were able to win, because they never went close to that little cluster, that little cloudburst fight happening between NG Pros and W Squad and FTW. Like, these three teams, they were locked in a very intense battle, and Westeros was like, I'm gonna stay away. Stay the hell away from this one and just snipe from far, get eliminations, and not get my hands dirty.
You know, Gopo is one of those players who still needs to get composure for himself.
Yeah.
There was no necessity for him to push alone, and then I probably thought that I've got that electrotherapy tagged in, and that's how he pushed in. Eventually gets taken down, and the whole squad of NG Pros looks so weak because all the teams were just aiming the crosshairs on them. Nonetheless, this was the team which had a gala of a time in this game, ladies and gentlemen. It's got to be WES, the Westeros, who have done so well. A124 starting to look like the favorites for all the Grenadiers out there as the snipers work with Morris and its combination. We have got Oscar and a Chrono for the frontline assaulters with an enhanced hammer coming in from Snow, and which is helping them out. 2 Grenadiers in this team. That's a new combination I've seen.
Yeah, you also have like 2 pseudo snipers, like Agent obviously using the typical sniper loadout, but Golden is also using the Maro and the Moko, so they can deal more distance from, they can deal more damage from afar. And those are the 2 damage leaders of this team. 2733 for Golden and 2988 for Agent. Still, Zero is not that far behind. So I think overall, this team did a good job by contributing equally. Even the MVP, even though he has the least damage in the team, he still has the most eliminations, and that kind of shows you that there's no one guy who's carrying this team. All of them are lifting their own weight, and that is great. Even though Snow is supposed to be the bombarder, the bomber of the team, he's actually playing more of a support role, considering that he's got the Chrono and the Tiva equipped.
Yeah.
However, the Enhanced Hammer can throw you off. Enhanced Hammer is supposed to indicate, more aggressiveness. So even though he's listed as a bomber and he's using the Enhanced Hammer and not using the Alvaro as well as the Beastin, it kind of shows you that this team has all their bases covered.
Dreamwork is teamwork is what this team has shown us for now. 28 points as they are at the very top. I really thought that NG Pros are going to be on the top of the table for some reason. Nonetheless, they've got 28. They've equalized with Westeros, but NG Pros, they've got 22 eliminations. If nobody would have stopped them, probably they would have ended up with 30 or 30 plus. At the same time, FTW on the other side, they've got 18. Look at the disparity between the second and the third team. 10-point difference there itself. And after which, the number starts to dwindle down. Apex 7 with 16, CHILLMATES with 15, W Squad with 14, Glens with 10, all thanks to their 7 eliminations, and AD ZUIPTS as well. They've got 6 eliminations, and that's why they survive.
Yeah, at ZUIPTS, the number 1 FFC team, going very elimination hungry. I understand that they're coming from the FFC mode and you generally play a lot more aggressively in that kind of a lobby, but over here you have to show some restraint, otherwise you will have similar points like these. Like 6 eliminations, very impressive in the first circle, but then you die instantly and that brings you 0 placement points. So they need to change their approach. It's no longer the FFC mode. You have reached the play-in stage and you need to adjust a little bit that way. But for all the other teams, apart from NG Pros, I was actually surprised to see the other teams come up over here. Like I thought NG Pros, because they're they're one of the LAN finalists, I obviously knew they'll do well. I knew that at ZUIPTS will do well because they're the city qualifier team. But for everybody else, I did not expect them to do so well. Like Apex 7 had so many eliminations that they got before the final battle even began. So they were chasing their opponents in the mid game. Westeros, really great way to handle the end zone. So all of these performances are actually very hopeful. I'm very happy with this particular group, and they seem a lot more organized as well from the previous groups that we have seen. So I have really high expectations for today.
I believe that all these teams did play without pressure, especially in the first game.
I could feel that. I could feel that the lack of pressure over here. Like, there's no anxiety that you can see. There's no bad decisions that I could criticize.
True, but in the upcoming games, we can expect it to, start surmounting, as all the teams at the very bottom will have to make sure they push and they do better. But when we look at our predictions, it was pretty similar, Crips. Yours and mine. Probably I went with CHILLMATES, but you went with someone else at the as our last
We kind of
predictors,
swapped.
but at the same.
Yeah, you picked JAYDEN Esports in the previous game. I picked them this time. So I picked CHILLMATES in the previous game. You picked them this time. So like just a little bit of oopsie daisy, just a little bit of exchange over here.
Yeah, absolutely. But ladies and gentlemen, the upcoming map is going to be the map of Purgatory, the biggest map out there. Please do let us know that which among these teams you feel are going to walk away with the booyah. But both of us are going to be smiling for a long time now. Look at Brasilia, stacked up 5 teams. NG Pros at the very center and all the underdogs just converging on them.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to happen, bro. NG Pros are going to Brasilia. We know that for a fact. We've seen them do that all the time.
Too good to be true.
Yeah, it's too good to be true. I think even in the previous game, the only team that did not really lie about their drop spots was NG Pros. They said that they'll go to Observatory, and that's what they've always been. Observatory, Graveyard, Shipyard, the northwestern sector of the map. They often drop into Brasilia in Purgatory, we know that. But are the other teams, the other 4, really going to challenge them over there?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. It's going to be an easy one as well. But
I don't think so either, but I hope so.
Yeah. Let's keep our hope. Keep our hopes high as we step into the next map any second now. As I said, do let us know your predictions, because this is the map of Purgatory, where every other team needs to make sure that they have some early eliminations, because the final circles, in case that happens in the open fields, that is where you're gonna suffer with no points at all.
Let's see if we have any early drop clashes, ladies and gentlemen. Apex 7 heading towards Lumbermill. No problem. 100x Esports heading towards Fire Brigade. No drop clash yet, but there is a possibility of one later. NG Pros not going to Brasilia. Okay. Alright then. Splitting up across Central and Fire Brigade. Alright then. Do teams still go to Brasilia? Only JAYDEN Esports heads over there. Alright. I do not know what happened over here. I am surprised. And I'm disappointed that we don't see a Brasilia clash fight, but we might just see one between the Central and Fire Brigade over here already. Because Gopu's already eyeing Mohsin. He's getting shot from the back already. And yeah, he's going to get sandwiched between both these players very, very soon. But he still lands a good chunk of damage onto Mohsin and gets to hard cover without taking more than 50% damage. He's sorted for the time being, but I can't say the same for ZUIPTS, because they are getting destroyed by FTW over here.
FTW, a fair trade comes in as well. Safiq, he's going to be the survivor. He's going to be the support for the team who gets that revival as well. But NG Pros, they need to catch up. Gopu is starting to get heated up. And when he does, he just walks in blindly on the enemies. FTW missing a lot of shots. Not something you would want to see. But Reflexer, by the beginning of it, he's already got 5 headshots. Are you serious? Wow.
instantly impressing us. Reflexer also leading with 3 eliminations for now. Who is Reflexer even fighting? We shall find out very soon. Oh, I guess he was fighting the Pirates. They are out already. Nice pre-fire by 1 HP KO bot. Great stuff. Gets the elimination. But can ADZ go across? Yes, they stay alive long enough for Ronak to get the res. But Safiq, his vehicle is going to be blown up soon.
Oh, it does get blown up, but Safiq is still inside. The Ghost Rider looks like he could be in a lot of trouble because Raijin is literally raged up. And he knows that if he's persistent, he can walk away with that elimination. As his teammate as well. Look at them. Everybody are trying to converge for that one elimination. WSQ on the other side. They see Reflexor in front of them, but they need to be careful because he's done a beautiful job so far.
Yeah, he's the elimination leader with 3, looking to get his 4th one. But W Squad all charge him at the same time. Great dash and headshot by Aditya. W Spark tries to dance between the 2 chrono shields, but Raju's Drogon nets him the elimination. Instantly going for the res on to his teammate Reflexer so that he can continue his elimination streak.
What a comeback from CHILLMATES, especially Raju. He comes in with a vehicle, knocks one guy out with a vehicle, and then the chrono shield battle. Everything was exceptional, but FTW, Raijin, he gets taken down. Probably they were not prepared for it, as 1 HP KO bot is now under trouble, under fire, as it's going to be Kings from ADZ who have sniffed these players. Probably it was a trap they set off, and FTW have just fallen into it.
Yeah, FTW not just fallen into the trap, but they're falling down to their knees. Down to just 1 player. FTW really need to go for these reses once again, but how many times can they afford to do so? It seems like since the last game, they've just been running around looking for respawn points. And that's gonna be a very painful experience if you're playing in the group stage. I'm sorry, in the play-in stage. Meanwhile, W Squad, they were on the border of Brasilia, and it seems like they've lost another player to Anubhav.
NG Pros, for the first time I see them not having much. Rudra needs to be careful. Gets shot, 2 bullets. Goes through. Apex on the other side, they do not watch out for their backlines, because of which Stunish gets taken down. But the revival is going to be coming up quickly, as Ayan is very close to that revival tower. But again, NG Pros, I'm shocked to see them not involving in any kind of fights. Bermuda, they had a good start. They've got 31 on board already. But in the map of Purgatory, probably it's the experience coming into play.
Apex 7 running across Central. They're safe for now, but JAYDEN Esports are clashing with Westeros, and JAYDEN have already acquired the first knock. Agent down. Golden chasing the Flash, but Flash running like the actual Flash himself is so fast. He gets across the corner before Golden can shoot him. And now they're regretting not getting the res onto Agent faster, because Flash is running around and Golden can hear his footsteps, but now he can also hear another set of footsteps. Now he realizes that he's getting pushed by 2 people. And before he can put up that wall, it is over. Flash will dash across that glue wall and get that knock. Then he gets the confirmation onto Agent as well. JAYDEN with 2 eliminations, looking to take control of Ski Lodge.
Ski Lodge under control, but look at what's happening out here. Westero, who were looking so strong in the previous game, is not looking so great in this one. Whereas Ski Lodge is where FTW are now heading. The Moat House region suddenly starts to seem like it's going to be filled up.
So for those of you who are wondering where all these battles are happening, we have FTW versus JAYDEN happening close to Ski Lodge. At the same time, Hawks were in Moat House, but now they're coming south towards Ski Lodge again. At ZUIPTS are near Moat House. They could third party over here, but I don't see any danger for them right now. So it's basically a 3-team affair over here. FTW versus JAYDEN versus potentially Nighthawks if they decide to enter this fight. But that's all that you can see for now. On the other side, in Quarry, I do see that Apex 7 are clashing against W Squad. So that is a completely different fight happening in the other end of the map.
Persistent to put down CHILLMATES for now. On the other side, we see that the circle is just shifting away from that of NG Pros and CHILLMATES as FTW. They've got that ski lodge region for themselves, and that is very much inside the circle. As I said, if the circle forms up towards this field region, there's not many hard covers for you guys to achieve. But if several teams do get it in the beginning, then things can be a little bit different.
I hope they're much more different from what's happening right now, because the circle has shrunk and Brasilia is no longer in the zone. It's going to be between fields and ski lodges. So this is going to be difficult for a lot of these teams. Oh, CHILLMATES clashing against ZUIPTS. This is the battle from the previous game. Meanwhile, NG Pros and Glen Esports are also clashing against each other.
Yeah, NG Pros, finally they see Glen's right in front of them. And now they're pushing in. Yet again, it's got to be Badal this time around. Gopu has got backup and the electrotherapy connected. And no wonder they're going to put both of them down and get that confirmation. This is what I was speaking about. In the previous game, we saw Gopu went in blank, but he did not have that electrotherapy connected, due to which he gets taken down and the whole squad just crumbles. But this time around, on above, the sniper, he gets a drop as well. And if he gets that deadly sniper, there's no way anybody can stop this team.
Yeah, I don't think anyone can contest them over here now, because CHILLMATES are right behind NG Pros, but there is a very easy way for NG Pros to get into the circle. They have access to vehicles, and they've still got their pocket markets around them, so they can even use the mini launch pads if they need to now, but they'll probably save it for later. After they are done looting everything, they will continue moving on towards the field's double barrel house. But where are CHILLMATES? Instead of going around and clashing with NG Pros, CHILLMATES have decided to go all the way back towards Marble Works to go for some loot, and sending only 2 of their players ahead in fields. Meanwhile, even Apex 7 making a very late rotation into Moat House, and they want to take another entry into the circle. That's why they're trying to avoid all of these edges. And they're taking these zip trails all towards the Moat House region. But what they don't know is that ADZ and Glen Esports are also moving towards Moat House. This is going to be a very difficult fight for all 3 of these teams, because they're all expecting a free empty rotation. But guys, this is not a unique idea. 3 other teams have this exact same idea.
All they need is to be shot at, and then everybody disperse. They really need somebody, a physical teacher, a physical trainer out here, to make sure that they do realize that sometimes punching hard is also going to be rewarded with a lot of pain. Nonetheless, Dave in the air. It's going to be Iconic who sees him. Another one is also shooting. Iconic finally lands one with the Woodpecker. Will be getting that confirmation. It's the third one where ZUIPTS have got for themselves. And after this, now, they'll also have to be careful, because as they make it inside the circle, they've got Apex 7, they've got Glens, they've got NG Pros, everybody gatekeeping them.
Yeah, man, a lot of these teams are just hugging the northern corner. ADZ will have a very difficult time moving in, because NG Pros are here to gatekeep Glen Esports. And even if Apex 7 come clashing against NG Pros, you know that if there is one team who can handle multiple gunfights and multiple team fights at the same time, it is NG Pros. They are the worst person to fight in a gatekeeping scenario.
For some reason, we are able to see that T1 teams, let it be any lobby, they tend to hold the corners of the circle. They try to rotate in late so that nobody backstabs them. And then ultimately, when they do make it inside the circle, they don't mind taking a frontal battle. This time around, we see that NG Pros are also thinking the same. As of now, it's got to be Apex 7, who did so well in the previous game, are kind of on the receiving end of things.
Yeah, Apex 7 are about to receive a lot of inbound full sends. I mean, ADZ don't have much of a choice, right? They can't stay outside the zone for too long. It's the 3rd zone already. This one will hurt. And in a few seconds, they will have the 4th zone already. That would literally cook them alive, so they have to go into its Apex 7. And it's actually easier to fight Apex 7 than it is to fight NG Pros, so they better hope to finish this fight quickly. Otherwise, they are definitely getting thirded by NG Pros.
Those grenades, all of it misses out, and Apex, even though they were kind of running around inside that building. Eventually, they were able to make a proper comeback over here. 2-player gets taken down. Iconic, the last man standing. Can he pull off a 1v2? It seems like he gets one confirmation and now shows his back to run away behind the glue wall. We'll have to rotate around and come in from a different angle. With all of that taking place, Apex on the other side, even they've got their eyes caught on another team altogether, with which we see that a team is still alive.
Oh, Ion! Tiny gap in the glue wall and he gets that knock. And ZUIPTS are out of here. Number 1 team in the FFC mode, by the way. And you can see that they fight really well, like 13 eliminations for ZUIPTS. Very, very impressive. And I'm pretty sure that because they're such an aggressive team, that's why they were able to win in the FFC mode. But once again, they need to get used to the fact that you can overheat. And if you end up overcommitting to a fight, you will do exactly what Apex 7 are doing right now. Dashing into the open and getting shot by NG Pros.
Oh my goodness, Anubhav pulled off a quadra out there. The 2 shots from Winchester was more than enough to, scramble the opponents. But for now, Gopu, he's also got a sniper in his hand. The whole squad is looking forward for a long-range battle. Arman not coming in. White Ghost on the other side. He's trying to tag so that he can activate that Moko to reveal the location. But none of it is connecting. Anubhav, he gets shot at. He gets taken down, and that's got to be CM yet again. In this game as well, they're starting to pester non-stop gaming.
Yeah, Apex 7 were one of the best teams to catch people rotating around in the 4th circle. But this time, they've paid the price for lurking around NG Pros for a bit too long. NG Pros controlling the top of the hill now are descending down upon the CHILLMATES. Reflex are already confirmed. Vulture and Arup trying to go for the flank, but they will not be able to find any success. Raju gets taken down, and poor Vulture realizes that, hey, I can't make this climb anymore. But they won't be allowed to escape. If you're going down the hill, you might as well go down entirely. 6 feet under the ground, I mean, buried in a shallow grave. Oh, CHILLMATES at least have 1 player alive. Luckily, they're not getting chased by NG Pros because NG Pros have a much bigger, juicier target. And that's going to be FTW. They see another team that's full. And they see 100x Esports as well. It doesn't matter if they're up against CHILLMATES or 100x or up against Nighthawks. They will just shoot at anything that moves.
NG Pros, every single time they just leave 1 survivor of a team and then ultimately he starts to be the menace. This time around, they've left 1 player of CM who is still alive outside of the circle. In case he puts 1 player down, then it could be problematic for the whole squad. Look at this, NH on the other side who tries to make through Gopu with that sniper, needs to shift immediately to a shotgun. I know that it's a long-range battle, but him with a sniper sometimes could restrict his movements, but he gets shot at and immediately the retaliation comes in. They turn around, put another man down, and CM gets eliminated from the lobby.
CHILLMATES out, no longer chilling. Moisin was chilling a few moments ago, but now he's getting peppered. That glue wall's about to break any second. His HP is dwindling, and so are his hopes. The Thunderbolt zone, luckily not dealing enough damage to him, but he finds Arman. Oh no, but even after all that, he gets only 1 elimination. The other one was stolen away by Westeros.
The Bolt Maker, this is where Gopu, he connects 1 shot. Badal needs to turn around to this corner because every time Badal has landed a shot, he's always got that confirmation. Or rather, Anubhav would want to, pick up some skulls with his Winchester. Both of these teams are trying to do their best. Anubhav gets in closer. There's an opening. White Ghost has given that. And now it's an uphill battle for NG Pros. They need to do it quickly because more than 1 team is going to push in. They use the launchers to get in closer, but can they do the damage?
NG Pros climbing up the hill, and generally an uphill battle is supposed to signify struggle. It's supposed to signify a lot of disturbance, but NG Pros don't face any of that. They lose Gopu, but that's because FTW also starts shooting at them. And now that both FTW and Westeros are working in tandem, they get the knock onto Badal as well. White Ghost and Anubhav are still surviving though, and they will continue surviving until FTW and Westeros start fighting each other. They just keep on reinforcing their glue walls, but the glue UAV is out. Ghost gets near the tree, but it's still not enough. The cover inadequate. Anubhav gets chipped out by MT, and FTW eliminate the biggest team in the lobby. Now they can turn their attention towards Westeros. Can they stop them now, or will Westeros get yet another booyah?
The chances are really high. Look at how Golden is pushing in. It's a 2v2 split coming in from the side of Westeros, trying to hold on to the topography. Whereas on the other side, Golden delayed that grenade launcher, due to which he gets punished. Westeros are in trouble, but the retaliation comes through. Look at this, Snow and Zero, both of them put 2 players down, make it 3, and it's left out with just 1 man, Clown, and his teammates. 1 HP comes in closer over here. Bot from outside of the circle, he wants to take a fight. He's already low on HP. He gets taken down as Zero. He's putting down everybody possible. Clown is going to be the last man standing. A 1v1 situation, ladies and gentlemen. A sniper versus a close range battle king. Let's see which among these are going to reign supreme.
Even last time, Clown was left in the 1v4. This time, at least, it's a 1v1. He is trusted to clutch for his team again. Meanwhile, Snow is being trusted to clutch the second booyah for his team. Both these players discovered each other. Snipers out, Max 7 in hand, ready to go for the res. Dips the time turner a little too early. Clown not taking that bait. Snow locks him in the crosshair, and Westeros get the second booyah again.
Oh, Snow pulling it off for the squad. Westeros with a statement out here. Once was nice, so we made it twice. Second booyah for them. What a game this is turning out to be for Westeros. But NG Pros yet again makes one silly mistake. Doesn't choose the higher ground in this lobby. Lesson learned the hard way. But how many eliminations have they got?
I think NG Pros don't care about the placement points right now. They will still receive 8 placement points. And with the amount of eliminations they have, I'm sure they will still be way ahead. But Westeros getting only 10 eliminations this time. They had slightly more in the previous game. But hey, 2 booyahs back to back. Especially when both the booyahs were acquired by beating NG Pros. At least last time when they beat NG Pros, there were a bunch of other teams involved, so they don't take all the credit. But this time, there was only one other team involved. So yes, you can pat yourself on the back. And Arka, if you show me the highlights, the last few moments of this Purgatory game and the few Bermuda game, I would say they're the same game. Because it's the exact same 2 teams fighting out for the top 2 spots. Once again, it's FTW versus Westeros. Once again, poor Clown is left alone in a clutch situation. At least last time he was in a 1v4. This time his odds were better in a 1v1. And he did take down quite a lot of people before he bit the dust. But once again, the MVP is going to be Snow. The guy who clutched the second booyah for his team.
Absolutely well played coming in from the side of Westeros. Golden 18 and Snow, both of them in tandem. We saw Agent as well doing really good. But Zero, this man is the unsung hero, because what a phenomenal gameplay, especially in the final circle when his team needed the most. With Snow, that shadow gameplay and picking up frags here and there, making sure the opponents not only get weak but also gets taken down. This team is working perfectly. 5 eliminations for that of Snow with 2,294 damage. His teammate Zero has got 2 eliminations with 1,794 damage.
Yeah, and this is really impressive because once again, you have 2 players with more than 2,000 damage, and Golden once again providing amazing cover and bombing support for his team as well. Zero doesn't have as much elimination and numbers with the damage, but he still did a phenomenal job in that final team fight. This team is working like a well-oiled machine. And the MVP for this time obviously is going to be Snow. The Chrono along with the AWM and the Enhanced Hammer helps him get not only the perfect cover, but also great amount of damage dished out to his opponents. Yes, in the final battle, I think he kind of whiffed the Chrono by activating a bit too early. He was a little too cautious in that battle, but even after using it earlier than expected, even after Clown did not fall for the bait, he still wins that aim duel. And even though he's supposed to be in the support role as well to some extent, considering he's using the Olivia and Thiva, he's supposed to be a good support guy as well. He's doing a little bit of everything, right? I mean, he's registered as the bomber of the team, but he's playing a bit of a support role, and he's clutching out the final fight for the team. I would say he is a very well-rounded player. Congratulations to Westeros for getting the second booyah, but they still are outscored by NG Pros as well as FTW.
It doesn't matter, right? They've got 2 booyahs already. They've got 20 pointers in both these games. The consistency is there for this team, and that's all. That's what matters. But again, the final fight changed because both these snipers, one chose to go with a Mag 7, sorry, and ultimately was able to clutch it out. Nonetheless, FTW, I did not expect them to have 15 eliminations. I really thought that NG Pros had more up their sleeves. but this time around they've done a good job. ZUIPTS on the other side, kind of impressed with them. They've got 13 eliminations yet again. Even in the previous game, they inclined towards getting eliminations.
Yeah, at least in the previous game, they did not get a single point, you know. At least they got one placement point this time. So, good aggression from ZUIPTS. I wish we could have seen their movements on the map as well over here because, you know, ZUIPTS also were roaming around quite a lot for getting all these eliminations. But the teams who generally avoided the Moat House Northern Corridor, they survived against NG Pros because NG Pros were destroying everybody who was coming in from Moat House. The only team they couldn't destroy was FTW because look at that. They go downhill to fight Westeros, to fight 100x Esports and NHE, but yeah, over there they lose track of the overall big picture and then they are eliminated on their way uphill. But overall, NG Pros have done so much damage across the second and third circle as well. Like when teams like Westeros and FTW were just busy rotating and playing it safe, NG Pros were still hunting across the second and third circle all the way out to the very end.
Yeah, NG Pros had the longest rotation, due to which it's going to be rewarding them to be on the top of the table in the overall with 51 points, one more than that of Westeros, who have got 50 in their name. Good to see that the fight is really close because from the 4th position to the 12th, it's still anybody's game because JAYDEN Esports, if they get a 20-point a game in the upcoming one, they come into the top 4 position.
Yeah, JAYDEN Esports, I mean, they need a 20-point game to get back into the top 6, but they're running out of opportunities to do so. And so far, they haven't really shown us that they're capable of doing it. Even Pirates Esports, for that matter, struggling a bit. At least Glen Esports have some sort of fighting firepower. At least they were able to hold their ground against one team. They struggle whenever there's more than 2 teams involved. So, you know, there's something going on for them. However, as of now, with 2 games into the tournament, we have seen that the cutoff is at 20 after 2 games. If we just triple it, the cutoff is going to be at 60, which is respectable enough, you know, if you're playing just 6 games. If this is the trend that continues, then I think getting to the 60-point marker is going to be enough for the teams to make it to the next stage of the tournament. But you never know when the top-tier teams start to just absolutely light up the elimination feed and just make the day harder for you. For no reason, that too.
Exactly, you just read my mind because NG Pros, once they know they've crossed the 60-pointer, that is when they start to create havoc. Let's not forget that Gopu from the get-go, all he's doing is just rushing in blindly. It doesn't matter if anybody's, you know, giving him a backup or not, so we can expect him to go even more bonkers. But let's not forget that Westeros as well, if a team continuously gets those booyahs, again, another chunk of 50 points is taken away from the rest of the squads.
Yeah, so that's going to be very, very difficult, right? I mean, that 50-pointer is going to be absolutely difficult. Let's compare Westeros' performance between Game 1 and Game 2. In the first game, they got 16 eliminations, and that is thanks to them managing to successfully third party in the fight between NG Pros and ZUIPTS as well. No, not ZUIPTS. It was NG Pros versus, if I'm not wrong, FTW, as well as one more other team which I cannot recall right now.
NG Pros.
No, NG Pros were fighting 3 other teams. And that's when Westeros decided to third party on them. One of them was FTW. I can't remember the third team right now. I'm so sorry, ladies and gentlemen. My memory is failing me right now. But clearly, they had a lot more damage and a lot more eliminations in the Bermuda game because they were positioned to steal a lot more eliminations away from FTW. This time, FTW didn't even leave them much of a chance. NG Pros took away most of those eliminations. So neither FTW nor Westeros got a lot of elimination points in this game. But look at the assists. 20 assists in the Westeros in the previous game, which kind of implies that they had to go for a lot more reses in the previous game. This time in Purgatory, they had a bit of an improvement. They didn't even need to, you know, revive a lot of their teammates. They didn't have the requirement to pick up their fallen teammates who were down on their knees. So I think that's much better in terms of survivability coming from them.
Yeah, absolutely. No, again, we have been seeing, right, most of our predictions have been coming out true. Nonetheless, NG Pros have been, you know, the flag bearers for our predictions. So let's look at the prediction for the upcoming game. I kind of feel like ZUIPTS, the way they're converting those fights. Oh, it's the same set of teams. It's just that I feel that ZUIPTS might walk away with the booyah. You feel like NG Pros, it's time they step up.
Yeah, I mean, I've been picking up NG Pros as my #1 team in every game that I've played so far. I mean, you can't blame me, right? They are like the most obvious team to pick
Yeah.
for predictions. Don't blame me for not having any diversity in my picks, ladies and gentlemen. Please don't come at me like that. However, ZUIPTS has indeed impressed me, but I believe they're still playing with the FFC mode mindset. I'm sure that the reason why they're the number one FFC mode team is because they got like some probably 30-40 plus eliminations in a single game, and they did it consistently across FFC mode. Some of these teams were getting like 60-70 eliminations in a single game of FFC mode, and I'm like, that's ridiculous. So in order to play that aggressively, ZUIPTS have to keep chasing down enemies again and again. And they're doing the same thing over here, but unfortunately the caliber of opponents over here is much, much higher. So they will be punished if they just rush in without thinking.
No, I strongly feel like, they're still carrying the same mindset. They're like, let it be a T1 team, let it be an underdog. What we're going to do is rely on our advantage, and that is being as aggressive as possible, trying to convert those 4v4s, which they have been doing phenomenally. Nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, for all the teams out there who are trying to be more aggressive, they're going to be happy with the upcoming game because it's going to be the map of Nextera, considered to have the highest amount of eliminations. This map is just going to make things so much more interesting.
Yeah, and this is where ZUIPTS will shine. I mean, you already know that they're a super aggressive team. Nextera is supposed to be the most aggressive map. We've seen 105 eliminations on an average on this map in the previous season of FFMIC. So yeah, if ZUIPTS continue like this, they will be fighting against Apex 7 and Glenn in a mud-side clash. However, I'm not seeing too many other clashes happening over here. Like, unlike the previous Brasilia prediction where there's like supposed to be 5 teams over there, none of them went over there, only JAYDEN went to Brasilia. So this time as well, I've like stopped believing this preferred drop spots map. So regardless of whether there's an early fight or not, I know that this map is going to be an absolute banger because Nextera generally is the most aggressive map.
Now, in the beginning, I'm just going to make sure I keep my hopes high because I am going to keep my eyes on mud side. 3 teams out there, vending machines here and there, as well as you've got a recall tower. So, yes, you can expect action at this region, ladies and gentlemen. We are stepping into Nextera now. A lot of action is going to come your way, before which I want you guys to be quick with your fingers. Let us know which team do you think is going to walk away with the maximum amount of eliminations. Not the booyah, but the maximum amount of eliminations.
Yeah, maximum number of eliminations coming your way, ladies and gentlemen. The most aggressive map of the day. And also, this map will mark the halfway point of the day. Now on your screens, we go from Mortar Ruins to its Grab Labs in the plane. You've got Pirates dropping across Mortar Ruins, 100x Esports taking up Twin Bridge. No problem so far. But then you've got NG Pros split dropping between Rushtown and Zipway. I think this could be a bit of a problem if Pirates decide to fight them. But then again, they're NG Pros. They don't need to worry about much. However, there is a Intellect Center drop clash between ZUIPTS and Apex 7. I thought this was supposed to happen in Mudside, but hey, I'm happy it's happening somewhere. And ZUIPTS this time once again, proving that they're better by getting the first 2 eliminations of the game. Make it 3.
I don't think so. Anybody can stop this squad in a drop clash. I would love to see them fight out NG Pros and try to prove themselves. JAYDEN on the other side. They're at Deca Square. They've got FTW right above them. So they need to be careful. As Flash gets tagged off a little bit. Prissy, he gets taken down, and that's a fair trade coming in from both the sides. A punch for a punch, this time around empty. He just adds chili powder to the wound because he emotes and eliminates one of the players.
Ooh, emoting, huh? I like that. Flash hoping to be sneaky, using the Morse, gets the res, gets a knock! Aw, but he gets traded. Valiant effort. Unfortunately, the only thing that is meaningful out of this encounter is the res itself.
Absolutely. FTW. Clown is being that frontline assaulter for the team. No wonder we saw him in the final battle, a 1v1 battle. Even though he failed, it was just a valiant effort coming in from his side. Rudra from WSQ trying to do his best, gets in closer with his teammate, made sure that they get the first elimination on board. And now they're pushing in towards another squad. They need to be careful because they don't know there's one player already inside a building. Oh, it was all a strategy converging from a different angle altogether. This could be problem for Pain as both these players pounce upon him. Will be getting that confirmation as well. Whereas his teammates, they choose to run away from this position. WSQ, 3 eliminations in their pocket, and they're looking more than promising.
Ooh, yeah. Westeros also looking quite promising. It's Westeros versus FTW once again. We have been seeing these two teams fight each other in the final battle across Bermuda and Purgatory. But now they're back is the first fight in Next Era. And even NG Pros. Bro, this is literally a repeat of the previous game. The only difference is NG Pros versus Westeros versus FTW was happening as the final battle. This is the first battle in Next Era. And that is why I love this map so much.
This is more action to you, ladies and gentlemen. White Ghost is trying to do his best. He's not trying to aim at the player. Rather, there it is. He tries to fly. Now he's got an opportunity. A bird in the air. Can he land? White Ghost says no. He just lets him breathe because he knows that he might get taken down by Golden at a distance. Anubhav has got his eye set on him. He's got that woodpecker. His teammates, White Ghost, look at him. He goes incognito and then he flies away towards the opponent. Oh, the risk they're taking.
Wait, but Anubhav is going right towards Westeros? He's trying to rush Golden up close. The time turner popped up close, down to 1 HP. Oh my god, I love this guy's confidence, bro. Like, the audacity he has to rush the opponent and then drop a Chrono Shield in their face. And look at Gopu, boldly fighting two people at once. He doesn't even care if he's gonna get traded. He knows that Badal is right around the corner, so even if the enemies have a crossfire, he just barges right in. Yeah, this is NG Pros at their cockiest, bro.
NG Pros, my god, they're like, we are done with this lobby. Every single time we let someone breathe, all they do is just trample upon us. But this time around, why don't we try to do it? And they've been successful. White Ghost on the other side was the solo player who started chasing down the final player of that of FTW. I don't know whether he found him or not, but NG Pros, they continue. They see that Rudra is far away, and this time around, it's WSQ.
W Squad getting W'd upon by NG Pros. Only PC players will understand that one. And emulator ones. NG Pros though, they have lost their element of surprise. They take the first shot on the spark. Gopu confirms it. Oh my god. White Ghost deals the damage and Gopu gets the finishing blow. Two people charging upon W Spark, and just like that they've lost one player. However, Bull gets the return shot onto White Ghost and the confirmation as well. NG Pros go to the vending machine instantly, get the res onto White Ghost, and Badal almost gets taken down, but he dashes right away. He gets saved by Gopu. My god, the backup that this team provides each other is insane. Anubhav tracking Rudra, knowing that Rudra will fall for the bait and jump downstairs. Anubhav Residue intercept him. These guys are like a step ahead of their enemies. They know exactly what they will do and exactly how their enemies will respond to that move. And they're ready to intercept that move. Oh my, like the mental warfare they're playing is on a whole new level.
Yeah,
I used to respect NG Pros all the time. But now that I see them against teams of a lesser tier or teams with lesser caliber, you can truly see the difference that NG Pros and Glenn have, NG Pros and all their opponents have. Because they're just thinking a few steps ahead. And that's what happens when you become the LAN finalists.
I feel like, they're just walking in the footsteps of Gopu. They're now starting to, support Gopu more. Because he's one of those players who does it well. But for now, it's got to be W Squad who got away from a fight, but this time around they've got Glens in front of them. They're trying to do their best. Flame does miss a lot of shots. Now Snow comes in for a bit of a cover. Uses the melee to clear things off. There's a landmine right in front of him. Does he realize it? It seems like he does, and he avoids it as he steps inside. Snow has an idea, starts to fire at Flame, but doesn't connect many shots, due to which he survives. They need to be careful. Westeros, they've got 2 booyahs already. This time around, they need to pick up more.
Oh no, Snow falls for the landmine eventually. Curse gets one more knock. Ace and helping him out. Zero spraying across. They do just enough to pressure Glenn Esports away. And they get the res onto Snow once again. But Glenn Esports also don't need to worry much. I mean, just a hop and skip and a jump away. There's another vending machine that they can use. That is, if they make it to the vending machine, they're gonna get into the vehicle, start driving off, and Westeros don't chase them. Hold up. 100x Esports are starting to fight Westeros now. Okay, the third party has arrived. And it's good that Glenn Esports got away from that spot when they did. If they stayed around, then they would have been thirded by 100x Esports.
Now, I'm kind of concerned for Westeros because they had that one last player, right? And I wonder where he has headed now. Has he got the revival? I'm not sure, but CM on the other side, he gets all his teammates revived. Agent gets taken down. Westeros are in trouble as the last man standing. Oh, finally, he revives one of the players, which is more than enough for them to, now traverse around the map and get another vending machine somewhere far away.
At ZUIPTS, finally playing a more measured game this time. 6 eliminations for them, and no signs of overextension like the previous 2 games, so they're good. Nobody around them though. JAYDEN Esports in a bit of danger. They came to Mortar Ruins to use the vending machine, but now they're getting hunted by NG Pros and Pirates at the same time. Why did Pirates try to take shots over there? They knew that they're surrounded. And that's what happens when Sushant overstays his welcome. Yeah, sure, he gets a knock, but then he gets killed in return, so not worth it. The Lee plans a light shot as well. And he landed that a few seconds ago. Now he finally gets the elimination for it as his opponents bled out. Oh, and they find the vending machine as well. That's cool. But even JAYDEN Esports are going to come to the exact same vending machine. And because JAYDEN Esports are being followed by NG Pros will end up finding the Pirates. So, like, are you really helping your cause, or are you just feeding NG Pros more eliminations?
I don't know what's happening, but I am happy to see that every other team have got a minimum of 4 to 6 eliminations. Each and every team is looking strong when it comes to frontal battle. Look at this. Now the retaliation from JAYDEN, even though it's 2 men standing Gopo. Look at him. If not for that electrotherapy, I don't think so. It would have been easy to put him down. Gopo changes position, connects that shot, puts one player down. It's flash far away, and all 3 of these players from NG Pros now know their location, and now they're going to push against him.
NG Pro spot JAYDEN as well. Oh my god. Flash taken down. Normally Flash has been good at avoiding his opponent's bullets and just running across the corner, juking his opponents, but what are you gonna do when you're in the open? You have nothing to use. He's good at urban battles, not so much in the open space. NG Pros, however, showing that they are good in open battles as well as they are well equipped in the close range ones. They are just all-rounders over here. And now that they've cleared up the entire Mortar Ruins region, they don't want to chase JAYDEN Esports down into Intellect Center. They will just get inside the zone first. So they're prioritizing the overall playstyle over here because the circle is about to shrink. And let's see where the shrink takes us.
Even though Gopo looks like the star of NG Pros, I feel like it's a white tiger because he's the only player to have dared split away from his teammates, try to find that off angle, and he's landing that initial shots to get that opening. But for now, Flash, who doesn't realize there's a player inside, the Vulture scoops in, gets its spray as CM. They look at players far away, one more shot and he could get knocked. But still, all of these fight outside of the circle. Chillmates, need to chill, man, because you guys need to get inside the circle as well.
Chillmates. I mean, yeah, sure, getting inside the circle is not a problem in the second one, but oh my god, Glenn Esports, they're making big problems for Westeros Esports. After getting 2 booyahs back-to-back, Westeros Esports finally fall down at the 10th place. Chillmates can now take their rightful place at the top of their throne if they can survive this battle against the Pirates. And the Leap has no idea the Reflexer comes in from behind. Vulture gets taken by surprise. Sushant, he goes down to Vulture. Great flank by Chillmates, going across the other side of this boxing gym entrance, and they clear out the entire main gym. Now they must go to the surrounding houses and take down ZUIPTS as well. But can they actually fight ZUIPTS? The city qualifier team versus the #1 FFC mode team. Let's see what happens when they clash against each other. The only thing that will happen is 100x Esports getting caught in between and getting shredded. Even Pirates are in the vicinity, but they're avoiding this battle like the plague. Chillmates versus ZUIPTS is not a fight that you would want to get caught in between, Arka.
Yeah, absolutely. ZUIPTS, look at that. First, they come up with the trump card. It's the bolt maker to make sure everybody runs back to cover, and then they start to push in. They know they've done some initial damage. The jump shot is got to be important over here. Safiq puts one player down. ZUIPTS, they are looking unstoppable for now, but a fair trade comes in from the other side. This time, a 1v1 scenario. Both of them go in for revival. A punch for a punch, a revive for a revive. Safi gets taken down. He gets confirmed this time around. ZUIPTS lose a player. And CM, they need to be careful. Reflexer gets taken down. This could be the beginning of the end for this squad.
ZUIPTS now trying to stop Chillmates from using the vending machine, but Aimbot turns around and sticks his sickle into his opponent's head. Great retaliation. ZUIPTS though, even though they had a bit of a humiliating knock, even though King was down on his knees, he's been picked right back up. So yeah, A sickle knock is nothing to be ashamed of. At least you didn't get completely eliminated. But NG Pros have lost 2 players. How? Oh, that's because they're fighting in the 4th zone. Yeah, that explains it. Way too much damage. Can't afford to stay here for any longer. They need to deal with FTW and get into the zone right away. But the zone is already occupied by Glen Esports, so that's going to be harder. And Aimbot is just leading them on a wild goose chase. Gopu finally gets him. And that's the end of Team FTW as well. Now NG Pros can safely enter the mudside end zone. Which is, by the way, a pretty hard shift. Look at that. It's going to leave a lot of teams out in the open.
Yeah, absolutely. But NG Pros, if they have to get to the vending machine, they'll have to, you know, still extend themselves outside of the circle, which is kind of hard for them. All they can do now is try to survive until the end and try to aim for a 2v4 or a 2v2v2 booyah. But yes, ZUIPTS, look at them, 11 eliminations, and then they see there's a players out there. They get to the nearest hot compound, and that's not going to be enough, because after this, they'll also have to make it more deeper inside the circle. So several teams are already calling it home.
Well, let's hope the circle doesn't evict those proud homeowners. Flash lands a good shot onto Iconic, but not a problem because Iconic can be revived instantly. ZUIPTS will have to do a lot more if they want to successfully breach this compound that 100x is holding.
Oh, wow!
Nice nade. Mosin almost gets taken down. But he gets away behind the bed just in time. Shockwave doesn't hit him over there. And ZUIPTS now avoiding 100x Esports and going from the edge of the circle into the zone instead. They should be able to get in with a safe entry. The red building belongs to them. And now the tides have turned. It's 100x Esports that will get gatekept by ZUIPTS instead.
Yeah, absolutely. But what's happening on the other side? NG Pro still not stopping. Now they go upon Glen. They finish them off, and now they've got a bit of a high ground to deal things with. ZUIPTS on the other side, they're making sure that they welcome everybody with open arms and a pour of bullet. They're picking up frags after frags. Iconic and Safiq, both of them just clear a squad. My God, Safiq, 7 eliminations, 3 comes in from a single fight. And now ZUIPTS, they need to make sure they choose which among the teams are they going to fight first. NG Pros needs to be careful. ZUIPTS, they see a team in front of them. They've started to put a lot of bullets through their skull.
Yeah, they already eliminated 2 teams. Even CHILLMATES go down. NG Pros, they have a great position, but they only have 2 players. And look at that next zone. Oh no, I just said that NG Pros have a good position, and now they've suddenly got the worst one. No, they have to go all the way around. Look at the circle shift. It's ZUIPTS and W Squad who will reach them first. NG Pros can stick to the edge and still make it if those 2 teams don't pay attention to them. And it seems like that's going to be the case because W Squad and ZUIPTS are busy fighting each other. So NG Pros, even though they were screwed by the position, will get into the zone safely because of the distraction.
Yeah, absolutely. Now that's the best part, right? We can see in the minimap, NG Pros can slowly make it inside the circle, and that's what they do. It seems like they've got a vehicle as well as ZUIPTS as well as WSQ. Both these teams are fighting it out. It's got to be NG Pros who try to do their best, slowly and steadily inching towards this fight. They need to be careful. As ZUIPTS, they might be in a bit of a trouble out here because WSQ are pouncing upon them. King, who has been separated from the squad, needs to be careful. Rudra trying to do his best, making sure that Iconic is the one person who gets taken down. But I just love this setup coming in from the side of NG Pros. This is what I was speaking about. You have 2 players who are strong enough to take fights in the final circles. They're going to do everything possible, but they need to look up in the sky because I see someone trying to land right next to them.
Yeah, NG Pros are not going to let anybody land. That's a member of W Squad that's desperately trying to get to the ground, but Aditya will be shot mid-air. At least his teammate Rudra will be able to get a knock onto Iconic, so their battle against ZUIPTS gets a little easier, but ZUIPTS are now dipping down in cover, not showing themselves, so W Squad focuses a bit on NG Pros, only to force Anubhav and Gopu to step away a few more feet. That's all. It doesn't pressure them at all. That nade could have been dangerous. Rudra takes a little bit of damage, but still no cigar. NG Pros with 18 eliminations need to play this very calmly because they're not going to get pressured for the next 2 seconds. But W Squad, they don't want to wait at all. They force the gunfight against Goku. Rudra gets isolated. But look at that. Bulls gets shot by Anubhav. Great trade comes through from Anubhav. He uses the Chrono Shield to get that confirmation. Now it's a 1v2v1 with NG Pros and ZUIPTS both having 1 member each.
Rudra needs to be careful because a backstab can come at any time. Anubhav puts one more down. Rudra gets in closer. Anubhav, he's got that experience. He's got a lot of firepower, but eventually gets traded off. This is a good game coming in from their side. This is where the king needs to stand supreme. Rudra gets taken down. W Spark is trying to do his best to come in from all different directions, but king is not going to love it as Spark versus king takes place out here. It's going to be ADZ. Can they pull off the first booyah for themselves? The chances are really high. Spark, he's just funneled him in, but eventually puts a shot through the glue wall, through a small opening, gets that booyah for himself.
A tiny gap, a pixel, that's all he sees. And that is all he needs. W Squad finally get the W. They get the booyah. And it's all thanks to W Spark. Massive 17 elimination game. Along with 12 points of the booyah. They almost touched a 30 bomber over here. But they will be stopped just a few feet short. But still, this is a massive game from W Squad. And again, credit where it's due. Even at ZUIPTS, I knew that they are very elimination hungry. I knew that they have a lot of firepower. But I criticized their ability to not survive the mid game. Well, they almost take the booyah over here. So you can see them going from strength to strength. You can see them adjusting in real time and improving in just a matter of 2 games. That's what impresses me the most.
Oh, this was the shot of the day for me because Rudra, if he hadn't landed that shot on Anubhav, the story would have been different. But Kings from AD, I mean, he was unstoppable. W Spark, he played that mind game so well. He knew that, you know, all he had to do was make sure that the opponents strike fear in their hearts, make sure they're hidden behind a glue wall, and they move around and gets that player down as well. Rudra with that Coda giving all that information, but W Spark with that Chrono as well as the enhanced hammer, which giving so much of confidence, 2,243 damage and the ultimate final blow.
It's so crazy how 3 of these people are using Tiva. I'm sorry, not Tiva. 3 of these people are using Joseph. Rudra, W Spark and Aditya are all using Joseph. That kind of shows why they were unaffected by all that utility. I'm pretty sure that I've seen Westeros use the A124 as well. So when you've got that Joseph, that A124 ability timing cannot be determined very easily. And that will protect you quite a lot. So great stuff from W Squad over here. Good damage from every single member. Almost 2,000 damage on everybody. Even Aditya, even though he's at 1991 damage, you can almost say that that's 2,000. So great performance from them. Great contribution from everyone. It's not like one person was carrying the team. Even though Rudra has 7 eliminations and even though he's the MVP of the team, it's not like he had to solo carry the entire thing. His teammates were giving him enough backup. And he was giving his team enough information with that Coda.
Yeah, absolutely. The Tiva for the quick revive, which you already pointed out, was a perfect combination for a Coda, if you ask me. Again, the game standings this time around, we see that NG Pros, they fall shy of the top spot because they've got 2 eliminations, lesser 19 eliminations. Still, the gun is doing the talking. AD, ZUIPTS, kind of impressed with this squad yet again. And I hope to see them walk away with the booyah anytime soon. They've got 27 points tying up with NG Pros, but 2 points, all thanks to their placement points. W Squad top the charts.
Yeah, but then look at the disparity between ZUIPTS and CHILLMATES. CHILLMATES also had a pretty decent game. But then with 2 teams getting tied at 27 and then the 4th place team being down at 16 points kind of shows you that there was a sharp drop-off between the teams alive between the 5th circle and the 6th circle. And the fact that W Squad and ZUIPTS are this close in terms of elimination to NG Pros kind of shows you that these 2 teams are not struggling against a stacked team like NG Pros, but all the other teams are just getting bullied left, right and center.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, the rotation of NG Pros has always been a question mark for me. They keep moving around. They're always interested in fights. They do not stay in one spot. Look at them. Only after they were handicapped is where they stood in one place. And from there on, all they did was watch carefully. But what impressed me the most is how ZUIPTS sends King away from all these fights. Just watch it, okay? We see the fight is taking place out here. NG Pros chose to change that position. And all of a sudden, we see that King outside. He starts to fly in, go somewhere far away. And then the fight takes place on the other side. He comes in at the right time to strike. And then everything fell in place.
Everything fell in place indeed. Yeah, the positioning of Kings kept ZUIPTS alive for a little longer. And I really thought that he would finally be able to clutch for his team, because his team has been doing really well in terms of eliminations. Look at that. While all the other teams had a bit of a break in the second and third circle, only ZUIPTS and NG Pros continue to hunt in the mid game. And that brings me a lot of respect for ZUIPTS, because they still have the second highest number of eliminations. Even though ZUIPTS is at the 5th place, they have 37 eliminations. The only team that has more eliminations than them is NG Pros. But then again, you obviously expected NG Pros to dominate. That's why they're at the number 1 with 56 eliminations and 78 points in total. And then look at the sharp drop-off. WESTEROS, even with 2 booyahs, are only 1 point ahead of FTW.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, we also have to, think about how close this can get, because Pirates, who have got 12 points, as I said in the previous game, they needed a 20-pointer game, but now rather they need a 30-pointer game. Right?
Yeah.
It's still reachable. All they have to do is push themselves, make sure they overcome the fear they have right now, or probably outperform themselves in the upcoming game, and they can still make it through. Or take a small step. Make sure you get 20 pointers in 2 to 3 games, because that's all you've got after this, and your chances of qualification can still be in your grabs.
Yeah, I mean, technically half the day is still alive, and all you need is one banger of a game, one massive game to change the tide. And even though one big game can save you now, it probably will not be able to save you in the later stages of the tournament. It gets harder. And yes, sure, in this particular tournament with like 3 games to go, one massive breakout game can get you across when you only have to get into the top 6. But you will need a lot more consistency in order to survive in TEZ Free Fire Max India Cup for 2026. What's going to happen in the next 3 games? We will find out after a short break.
Easy.
Subscribers of all ages, welcome back. The entire 3 map has been such a good roller coaster, specifically for Westeros. They've been winning 2 games back to back, and NG Pros, they've been super consistent. It's me, Azura Aiden, alongside Oro, and we both are going to take you guys through for the final 3 maps of this group.
Thank you for the warm welcome, Uzora. What a day it has been. We were talking behind the scenes and we were saying that, it looks like a top-heavy group where
it is.
It still looks like, but, there's some kind of a comeback made from a team like ZUIPTS, and definitely there were a few points thrown in by FTW as well. So definitely the group looks much more competitive than it was looking before. After the 2 matches, it was non-stop pros, and then we saw how Westeros and FTW, that was a consistent top 3, right? And it was kind of a rematch in the second game where both the teams were fighting second time and Westeros got their second booyah.
It's always a revenge game, Oro. Trust me, every single time we have seen FTW or we have seen NG Pros, they're just going head to head against each other, locking horns, taking the fight. But this time it is FTW, next time it is NG Pros. It's a to and fro competition going on. But what the others are doing, what the rest of the herd is doing, they're just sitting there, watching the entire fight, eating melody, and just knowing what to do next.
I mean, if I would have had, a free hand, I would have said that why is it too chocolatey? That's the question I would want to put up. But anyways, right now, the chocolate is points, and that is for sure getting in place for NG Pros, as expected. But there is a change, right? We know that Struggle is no more a part of this lineup. He used to be the IGL. He was one of the finest. We all remember how TEZ FFMIC 2025 was. They were one of the contenders to win the championship alongside IQ Total Gaming. But it did not happen in last time, which was TEZ FFMIC 2026 spring. But let's have a look at our prediction while we talk about fall, because this is where things are happening right now. This is Group E, still the playing stage, and our top 3 prediction, we have gone in with the constants. Oh, Zora.
It is the constant. It's like you and me just pointing fingers at each other. No, you have copied mine. No, I have not copied yours. So it's Westeros towards a third and Westeros for you towards a second, and FTW, it's either second or third, right? We have seen these teams, they're performing so well. And the game schedule says just one thing, that Solara is going to be our next following map. A map where I would say it's a theme park, and it just helps a lot of teams to head towards the following third parties in a jiffy. And there you go, TV Tower, 3 teams already heading towards that area. We have seen a lot of teams surprise us all the way that they head towards the hub or the waterfall or archway just to go in for a third party. But if they do that, more than welcome. We would love to see early skirmishes, and those skirmishes are going to give them a lot of lessons, valuable ones nonetheless.
Yeah, I was hearing what Crips and Narka were talking about, that NG Pros is the only honest ones, right? Who have given out their drop spots pretty upfront. But, we saw that in Purgatory, they were not going into Brasilia. It was a different drop spot.
Indeed.
Now, in Solara, it's Funfair. We have seen them going, but the question still remains that it was Struggle who used to take them there. Right now, the IGL has changed. Of course, it's White Coast. And for NG Pros, definitely things are changing because they are looking like a much more aggressive lineup. And we are going to find it out in Solara itself. You guys can also go ahead and give your 2 cents about who's going to win this game, and also talk about who's going to be the top 6, because those are the only spots who are going to make it to the next stage.
Exactly, viewers out there, go ahead, give your top 3, as we are going to keep a close eye on who's going to win and who will be called victorious. But I love the flight path heading all the way from Windmill, and the final stop is going to be Bloomtown. So if you want to head there, if you have one of the places, ideal spots, reach Eco Train as well. Eco Train is another spot where you can get good weapons. But I can see Anubhav already heading all the way towards that one surface slope just to see where Radhe is heading towards. So Apex 7, this entire team is under the microscope of NG Pros.
Ooh, this looks interesting because we usually end up seeing a lot of teams fighting, or rather drop clashing in Solara, because alongside Nextra, this is also one of the maps of Solara which we have seen that, too many points are given away, and we have seen teams rake up those bigger numbers in these maps. Right now, it's the W squad, and they definitely made a good comeback in the last game. Before that, it was looking like nothing kind of a performance other than NG Pros, West Pros, and FTW. Those were the only 3 teams we are constantly, of course, speaking about them because they have been the consistent teams out there. But definitely W squad right now, with I think their movement, they're probably looking for fights, but it is Pirates who are locking on against Glenn.
Pirates, so far I would say they're not at all doing their task of stealing away those elimination points. And so far I can see them, they're at the 12th spot with just 12 points. Not a good sight for them as JAYDEN, he has taken down one of the members of Pirates. And Pirates, even though they have a very nice retaliation, they can only confirm one, letting go the entire squad. But CHILLMATES, they're very close to the skirmish, and if they see Pirates out in the open, then imagine their fate.
Yeah, I mean, they have already lost Riyansh. So probably one should be an insurance policy. Oh, he immediately got brought back. I think it was Sushant
the
who
tuk-tuk,
brought
run
him
away.
back. Yep. And this is CHILLMATES we are looking at. You know, a team from the Guwahati City qualifiers. Right now, they have not shown up that in a great fashion.
Whoa!
But look at Ashu. He immediately uses the launchpad to reposition. He closes in the distance. But this looks, you know, a little difficult task for him because it's a 1v2. And of course, they're waiting behind the glue wall, right? What were you thinking,
It's too good
Ashu?
to be true. Imagine Ashu is like, you know what, I just got one elimination. Let me go for the second one as well. No, you're not going to get the opportunity as NG Pros. They're very close to the vicinity and taking the fight towards CHILLMATES. CHILLMATES running away, galloping across, heading on top of the slippery slope. And there you go. The follow-up comes through. Sushant right in front. Cover fire. Pirates in front. They're taking the battle and they're doing it so valiantly. Reflexor, HP low. But wait a second, Sushant. He's like, so many targets. What can I do? One person down, but nothing else he can do in that given situation, as they're just gonna tuck their tails and run away from this fight. As NG Pros, they're thumping their chests. They're here to go ahead and yet again claim those spoils of the opponents.
Yep, it is the Riders Club. All this is happening there. But Glenn, it's Dave who's running away, as he should, because he knows that he has to survive. Otherwise, the whole team goes out. Probably wait, he has been I mean, since he's surviving, he had the opportunity to bring back the players. But wait, Dave will not be able to survive, but if their team survives. For a moment, I thought that he was the last survivor, but it was not the case. He was an isolated guy right now. And he definitely got picked off by NG Pros. But yeah, good start again for NG Pros. Zora, you know, the way NG Pros have shaped up, you know, Gopu being added into this roster, because he has changed quite a lot of jerseys, right? We have seen him in Tycoons. Again, we have having those discussions. You know, some interesting discussions arise, you know, when we are talking behind the scenes.
Exactly. The interesting discussions were like where the players are heading towards, how are they even performing.
Yep.
But the W squad in the previous game, they were super good, and now all of a sudden they have met their match. FTW, hefty shots on the opponent, and most of them are begging for mercy. No collateral damage whatsoever, and FTW, they're running in. 1 HP KO bot. I would love to see how well he can perform as well. But for now, this team is heading all the way towards the Pirates, taking battles again and again against each and every one that they can find. The confidence soaring very high. Well, there is NG Pros right in front. I hope Reagan, he has already seen it. Regen inside the car, toppling. I don't know whether this is a movie or not, but he's safe.
I don't know how did he get his license approved, but for sure he has been taken down. And so is Empty.
Empty!
You should not drive in front of NG Pros like that, because of course if you are giving them that positioning and that spot, they will capitalize, they will punish you for those, you know, mistakes. And WESTEROS, in the meanwhile, I think this is the very first time or the very first game where we have seen them eliminating such early in this stage. But wait, what? Cloud10, he picks up the monster truck, trying to escape, but Gopu immediately, it was Badal eventually who punished him. And this was the 8th elimination confirmed from NG Pros. Wow, I mean, again, NG Pros, they are constantly trying to make those fights, and they are winning them as well, as they should. You know, they're inching closer towards that 100th mark, right? You know, right now we have seen so many invited teams coming into this lobby and dominating, except for Rise Esports. They did not have the best of the starts. They got eliminated. But other than that, it has been the invited teams all over.
Oh, that's right. Archway. One of the places where I can see a couple of teams already, but one is left stranded there. Pirates, they're not able to soar that well. They're trying their level best, and members are falling down. And it is NHE, Team Hawks, just playing it so well. I'm super happy for them. Finally, they can get the confidence back into the picture. All 4 members, 1 elimination each. And like you rightly mentioned, all the invited teams that performed so well, except for Arise. I don't know what went wrong there. There were some miscommunications, but unfortunately, there has been another casualty here. Back to the whiteboard, says Pirates. They're gonna head, understand what they can do in the next following map. It's just sadness all across for them. And Mohsin, he did think that he can cross just like that, but unfortunately there's a lot of interception there. And Apex 7, they're taking a different battle altogether against JAYDEN. The happy lads, they have surrounded so many players, but in that atmosphere, can they get more eliminations?
Danish, he dashes in, but he did not find the man he was trying to, but he'd get taken down there. Oh, that was a little bit of a pickle for him and for his team right now. JAYDEN, they still have the numbers going in their favor. Oh, there was a moment where, you know, Aizen's feet were visible. And Max gets support. He tries to escape, but Aizen... Wait. He still tries. He's still trying. The vehicle gets bursted. And Max eventually finishes him off. It was not the way it should have ended, but it ended in JAYDEN's favor. And for, you know, the likes of JAYDEN and Nighthawks and Glenn, these teams require the elimination numbers, right? Because they're right at the bottom. And with Apex getting eliminated, they have the opportunity to climb up.
Whoa. Climbing up is one thing. And Gopo being the last man standing for Non-Stop Pros. Well, 3 members already rushing down. Gopo, you better be aware about that. Oh my god. 80 ZUIPTS. What a way to give them a pit stop. And NG Pros, they could not do much there. They were way too aggressive in the beginning itself. All this time, it was paying them off in hefty price. They were getting the eliminations. They were getting so many team confirmations, but unfortunately not this time.
Yep.
Solara, it just ends a lot of fates. Specifically the teams who already have such rampant ways to perform. Raju OP, what a way to isolate one of the members, but it's a 1v2 through which the fate, it just has succumbed for him.
Yeah, the numbers was not in their favor, but Nighthawks, they're fighting. And they're fighting in a way where they're able to, you know, get those elimination points. I already see 8 elimination points for them. They should be super happy. You know, with Non-Stop Pros out of the picture, Westeros out of the picture, you know, the floodgates open. And this is where the opportunity goes to a team like 100x Esports, a Glenn, a Nighthawk, and a JAYDEN. And these teams are able to collect those elimination points. And even for a fact that 100x Esports, JD God, is alone. This is not the way he would have wanted, but probably if he could take one player down, which is not the case, he gets taken down and he falls. And wait, with him, I think that was the whole team, the whole lineup was shut down, Ozora.
Oh, that's right. The Nighthawks, they are hunting down praise after prey. 10 eliminations on the name, currently topping the chart, but I would say it's 11, which is helping ADZ put a really good, strong front. And ADZ, look at them outside the circle, trying to spot where the opponent could be. Trying to put them under the microscope. The W squad now finally running away. Fade is second, Rudra. I don't know what happened. He just jumped the gun. He's like, you know what? It's all right. I'm not going to take the slippery slope, else I'll be shot to death. And that's what ADZ is really good at. Unronak. Well, he's undoing a lot of things here, Aditya. Even though he thinks that he's a smart lad out there. Having the cover, so-called glue wall, that will melt real soon. As Aditya, he's fallen down, Spark right in front, and he is gonna match the same fate as Sheikh. They're just constantly running around with M590s and getting those opponents down on their knees. This is not a good sight for the likes of W Squad, and they're calling in rotations, they're calling in revivals, but where they can go is the question.
The circle has moved in the opposite direction, Ozora. You know, they definitely have to prioritize it, and that is why AD ZUIPTS have understood the assignment first, and they know that, you know, they did not have the best of the games in the first 2 maps where they only had 20 points, but the last game has given them the confidence, and Iconic is fighting, and Iconic falls. Ooh, an anticlimax situation where they could have got one more elimination, but Bulls is the one who will also lose out on his life if he can be brought back. But the question is, wait, W Spark, the squad is in a spot of bother once again, and they're being chased by JAYDEN. They were at the edge, Ozora, and they, you know, were, I think, looking for a vending machine to bring back the players, and they eventually get spotted by JAYDEN, and they immediately pounce upon them to find elimination, and they find one.
JAYDEN, every single time, they're maintaining a very tight leash on the opponent and just commanding whether they can breathe or not. They have the circle as well. The priority is pretty straight, but I can see one of the members of FTW just hovering over in the sky, trying to see where the opponents could be. And if he had a coda, then he would have known with the enhanced vision and understood that, well, this is the compound which is being contested. Unfortunately, they don't have that just yet. Flash, he's just trying to go on top of this little hut to understand where the opponents can be. There you go. Spots couple of rotations coming in. And FTW, they're going in for the compound. The W squad, they're going in for revival. They are low-key trying so hard in order to find one of the vending machines. And the McLaren, it is just running and running.
I mean, this is a longer way to rotate, and they just might land onto Team Glenn, but wait, they're going in towards Hub. That's a very, very long rotation. You know, they will take a lot of damage and they have to tank that and forget about it. But right now it is Glenn and it is Aizen who finds the players from Team FTW, and few have been eliminated already. It's Prizzy who has the M82B. He has the Riptide Rhythm available as well. But look at the rotation. It has already started for JAYDEN, and Dave, he immediately finds one from JAYDEN and eliminates him. But it's only Max and Prizzy Ozora. How will they manage to go inside the circle first, where they are being gate-kept by CHILLMATES? They already know their positioning.
Just letting everyone know the circle is at the smack center, and whoever plans on heading towards the circle will be an open target, being shot from all four directions. The bolt maker being created, Vulture right in front, Charge Buster. We all know this weapon, once charged and launched at the opponent, it's a one-hit missile. But it needs to connect. Raju OP very close on the skirmish, and there you go, the fight has already started. CHILLMATES, last member standing, aimbot, he's trying his level best, VSK in hand, and now he runs away with the stealth bite. He needs to survive, he needs to be the flag bearer of CHILLMATES, as it's about existing in this map. Sight in hand, and he's running around. He's been spotted. HP, well, it's dwindling down on the final shot. If it connects, he's long gone. There you go. The push comes in, but it's Unrunner confirming the elimination, and CHILLMATES, they have been annihilated.
Oh my goodness, CHILLMATES, aimbot, he tried his level best. Probably he was hoping that, is there a vending machine where I can bring back any single player from our team? But wait, same is the situation for Rudra, but he's not the solo survivor. Alongside him, there is W Spark as well. And definitely the W squad has played in a way where they have impressed us, but only 2 eliminations to show up in this game. They would require the survival game to kick in. He's literally walking, and that too in a crouched position where he doesn't want the enemy to find him. But right now it is Flame, this is Glenn. They are fighting against the circle, but the fights are happening towards the northern end, where the cluster is towards AZ ZUIPTS, Nighthawk and the W squad. And look at the cluster, Ozora. It's a 4v4 battle between Nighthawks and AZ ZUIPTS.
And the barrier is just one plain mirror. They can see each other's moves, they can see where the opponent is hiding, and the backstab could have been shaped just yet. But look at King, M590, he's just getting prepared for a battle where they need to remember that Rudra is still alive. He's from a different squad, and look at that. It's not the Nighthawks who will get the confirmation, it is ADC. They're going for more, they're drawing more blood, and the HP is dwindling down. The Nighthawks, they have not been prepared for this. This question came out of syllabus, and look at the way ADC, they've just confirmed, and now they're stepping back. Presence of mind on top of it. And there you go, the top 3 right in front of us, where JAYDEN, they just have one last member standing, the Rat. What can he do? Max in front of a big team which has like 24 total eliminations on their name.
Max, he has to do a 1v4. He also has to fight against the circle. The player has already flanked him.
No.
He gets spotted by Safiq, and Safiq gets his 5th elimination point. And it's a 3v4 situation against Team Glenn. They're throwing in the melters. This is not looking good for them, because already look at the positioning of Iconic. He has spotted the players. They are fighting against his 2-on-1 battle. Iconic gets taken down, and it is Flame who got the trade, but he also doesn't have much HP to fight with. The last survivor is Aizen, but he has to fight, and he has to fight against 3 members of AD ZUIPTS, and it's not going to be an easy task. The last member falls onto King's hand. That's the IGL, and he seals the deal for AD ZUIPTS. What a comeback they have managed to show back in the map of Solara, Ozora.
Wow, AD ZUIPTS, A lovely game, 28 total eliminations on them and 12 placement points, all thanks to the Booyah, and they kept all the wolves away from the door. The moment the opponents knocked, came right in front, the wall helped them notice and understand, mirror their stances, mirror their position, and the way they have taken down Glenn as well. It was squeaky clean. Flame, he was outside the circle, and well, his MP40, even though we know it can do a lot of damage, unfortunately, he could not do their auto. And I would say it was a really good try, man. It was a really, really good try. And reaching in towards the top 3 was super important, even for this squad. So kudos to Glenn. But unfortunately, it's always the man count advantage that keeps hailing victorious against the weaklings.
And with this game, with so many eliminations sealed, right? AD ZUIPTS, they are running for the top spot, and definitely they're going to give NG Pros a run for their money. Let's have a look at the statistics. Definitely they have secured the Booyah, and the selections, right? The character selections are absolutely bang on, right? But wait, for a moment, I thought that it was bang on, but look at the way a Bomber is carrying a Casey. I already know that the fact that there is a passive skill called Alavero, which will help you. Again, there's a Beastin. But how does this Cassie come into the play? The combination these guys have made, I might question it, but it's still working. It's still working, right?
So it's basically having the support role, but calling it a Grenadier, okay?
Yeah.
So I really love the combination nonetheless. Cassie, a lovely way to go ahead and give the electrotherapy to one of your team members and then give back the HP, right? And the rushers require that. They require support. But Kings, he took one step ahead. He's like, you know what? I'll provide you support with the nade as well. I'm just going to make the one single nade into a cluster of a nuke, and then it's going to drop on the opponent. 12 total assists from this dude, King. He's been ruling the entire circuit of Solara with an iron fist, and I just love to see the way they're functioning in tandem. Andronik, he's just undoing a lot of things, man. And on the other end, I could see Iconic playing so well. 10 eliminations on his name. Oscar, it's a standard package. Nikita, Joseph, JB just trying to boost himself with confidence and rush in front of the opponents. The pushback, the knockback is really good. Plus, the Oscar just demolishes those glue walls like it's cotton candy in rain.
Yeah, he actually flexed the M590 in front of almost 10 people, and he eventually gave 8 assists as well. The total damage turns out to be at 3,673, which is a little less than what King could give, because we know for a fact that a Grenadier always gives the higher number of damage with the Alavero and the Beastin, helping him. But AD ZUIPTS, what a turnaround with 40 points, in this game with 28 elimination, and of course to ice it on top, that's the Booyah with those 12 placement points. They have turned the heat into the lobby, where again, if I go a little down, where we see Glenn in the second position with 19 points. So definitely this was a game where the teams at the bottom could get a grasp of the game, and they could get those eliminations and the survival game going in, which now will help them to shape up in the 5th map, which is going to help them build the top 6 position, which is looking wide open right now, Zora.
It's all thanks to eliminating NG Pros in the beginning. It's all thanks to eliminating FTW at the beginning, alongside Westeros as well. I mean, they were fighting the White Walkers for a really long time, but you need an army to take them down. And Westeros, they just got 2 eliminations in total. So let's see what will happen next. But the circle analysis, let's see how many steps these teams have walked all the way towards victory. Top 5 teams, ladies and gentlemen, right in front of us. And the circles, it's just shrinking slowly but surely, getting those elimination game on point. And there you go, the first circle, it has been frag heavy for AD ZUIPTS, so they got the momentum from the first circle itself. Carrying that forward is a huge task and a chore, and they just took it so well. 5 eliminations in the second circle, and that's where I would say they're just constant with that number game.
Yeah, I mean, the circle, constantly shows that AD ZUIPTS, they never had to do a very hard rotation, or the circle was not eventually very far away from them. They only had to make those slight changes and those maneuvers into the circle, and they prioritized the circle all the way, and they ended up, having the higher number when they were fighting. But look at the standing right now. NG Pros, they're at top. but only with the difference of 2 points between them and AD ZUIPTS. With 87 points, they've climbed up the ladder and they have jumped, big time. They were at the 5th position. They have jumped to the 2nd spot with a 40-pointer game, Ozora.
For the FTW though, 60 total points. It's a big difference between AD ZUIPTS and FTW. WESTEROS as well.
Very big.
Very close, very similar. 3 points away. The W squad 1 point away from WESTEROS' spot to be snatched away. CHILLMATES, they're hanging in there. Glenn, they're making a very good comeback, all thanks to the previous game itself. So would love to see how well they're going to perform coming forward towards Kalahari. And the others, they have not moved the spot. JAYDEN, Nighthawks, and they're just there, sitting, chilling alongside the Pirates. So I'm hoping, Oro, they just wake up because this is high time. This is about done time that they start functioning. But our top 3 for this following game, which is going to be in Kalahari, is right in front of us, ladies and gentlemen. You can go ahead and lock yours. Ours is already locked. And we just have slight changes. I have FTW, you have AD ZUIPTS.
And I feel that, I am pretty confident with this pick because these are the top 3 teams, and rather I would say the teams who have been consistent. Even the WESTEROS, they got eliminated pretty early in this game, and this was the very first game, so we can give them that because they have been doing so well. But AD ZUIPTS, the way they have made a comeback, we have to talk about them. They have that experience of being in these lobbies, right? They were in the previous season where TEZ FFMIC 2026 Spring gave them that experience, that first-hand experience, and now they have made sure that they make a comeback and they have shown character. But the character is required more in Game 5 and Game 6, and also for those teams, as we were speaking about few teams, the teams like the W Squad, CHILLMATES, Glenn, the difference is not so big, Ozora, right? One good game can change the table upside down for them because it's only top 2 spots who have almost probably, we can say that they have almost secured this spot, but the rest 4 are wide open.
Oh yeah, wait. There's another thing that you guys can do. Head all the way towards Shrine, shut down NG Pros, and once you do that, the entire table is wide open for taking. Because the difference we have seen for the first and the second is not that great, but the second and third, that's where the difference is the most. So understand what you need to do, and you've already known the opponent's understanding the cycle towards Kalahari, and once you know all of that, all you have to do is capitalize on top of that.
Yeah, and this is a map where the snipers will rise again and they will be happy, they will be smiling, they will be smacking their lips because they will definitely be able to, secure more eliminations and create more value for your team. So definitely we have to see that how these snipers are going to shape up for each of these teams, and this is going to be happening on Kalahari itself. It's time again that we jump into the map of Kalahari, the deserty themed map where everything can be towards the vertical positions. You know how Command Post and Refinery can be menacing and disappointing as well at the same time. But let's see where the clashes are happening. Is it according to preferred drop spots, or they have lied once again?
Lying on the resume, yes. We have never seen that at all. Kalahari, ladies and gentlemen. And let's enjoy the view as teams are heading towards their following drop locations. NG Pros, they're not at all lying that they would love to head towards Shrines. And there's another team for FTW heading all the way close alongside Glenn. Okay, the drop clash is going to look very clean. And I believe someone has heard my voice.
My goodness, towards Mammoth it is. So many teams, right? Almost 3 teams. And it can be a Mexican standoff. But for that to happen, I would share my 2 cents that I would always like to avoid these situations because if you don't get the perfect weaponry or even a vest or a helmet, you just might find yourself in a spot. What?
Oh!
Spark! He was not even ready for this. Didn't he hear the footsteps? That's the question. King, he gets caught off guard as well. Immediately picked off there, and AD ZUIPTS are in a spot of bother, but Rudra is still fighting against Iconic. He has a M590. Better gun suited in this situation, but oh my god, for a moment I thought it was Rudra, but it is Iconic who lands the final blow, Zora.
Now Pirates are here. They are going to rule this spot.
Oh my
All this time I was looking for them and they just understood that we need to take things very slow. But what? Taking things slow doesn't mean that you give your life away. One member taken down and the others are getting there, getting towards the opponents. And well, ADZ, ZUIPTS, they have understood that they always understand where the opponents are coming from, and once they do, they hit where it hurts the most. Pirates surrounding them, and I don't think so. ADZ, they're even breaking any sweat.
whatever they're doing, they have to wrap it up so quickly, because towards the mammoth structure there is CHILLMATES who are surrounding like scavengers. They would definitely want to party in this situation, but Pirates, they're getting picked off one by one. These isolated fights are not helping them at all.
They were not
Azora.
prepared.
Safiq picks up one more. Ashu, the position he is in, he can get spotted by
is he done
JAYDEN,
for?
and he got spotted there as well, and probably he can get eliminated. Wow, and Safiq understood the positioning and he is falling back.
Oh, that's what happens when you're shadowing the opponent's each and every move. And well, it just works out. CHILLMATES, they know that there was a commotion towards Mammoths. There's already such a huge carcass, and now they're just racking it up with a lot of human bodies. Pricey, he's paying a heavy price. Not at all a good sight for him to do something like falling down and then instantly be toppled. CHILLMATES, they're also giving away their lives. It's just two members from the likes of JAYDEN. One just running away. Flash, he wants to bring down the entire team, and the other, Max, he has an AUG level 2 and he's just taking some really good shots. And Raju, Charge Buster, but his HP is already way too low, and Max, he's just there like Max Verstappen, overtaking again and again the opponents, still scratching their head and thinking, what just happened?
Yeah, it was Flash who brought back all the players. Oh, actually it was aimbot. I mean, for Team CHILLMATES, and he immediately repositions because that is what is required from your teammates. Vulture and Reflexor would join him immediately as they land, but the one thing which they require right now is good loot, because without that you won't be able to survive against good teams who have that better understanding of what kind of loot they are carrying actually. But in the meanwhile, we already see that one team has been eliminated, and that is Nighthawks. After a good start in the last game, probably when we thought that they have the sliver of a chance while they're making the comeback, they got eliminated, Azora. And there is another player. Oh wait, ZUIPTS got eliminated. What?
Oh, the last member, he wanted to head all the way towards the vending machine but could not get the opportunity as W squad. They were pretty close in this vicinity. Bulls taking pot shots against Non-Stop, but I hope he's not doing the biggest mistake of his life. Because NG Pros, whenever they get to know where their prey is, they just smell the opponent like a shark. Look at that. Anubhav showcasing how much experience he has, spots the opponent as well, and this is just going to be way too easy. Badali has been taken down, but it's of no bother for them. As the vending machine, it's way too close, and there comes the revival. Spark, he's still alive inside the cocoon of Non-Stop Pros itself, and there you go, Gopu OP. MP40 in hand, and wait, what? Why jump into the ring of death? Spark is on fire. He's already taken a couple of players, and he could not take the third. Gopu OP, he's the savior of NG Pros.
White Goats would be brought back, but do they have the time? Because Pirates, they're already on the door knocking. Oh wait, Anubhav,
second time.
Yep, immediately brings back his IGL. But right now they have to start a fight against Pirates, who have 4 eliminations, and they have closed up close and Badal. And Chian finds Badal again. This is not the way Badal would have wanted things to turn out, but it has turned out in against him. Ice nades and positions are looking good for, Pirates like in this position, Azora.
Oh yes, Flash Freeze constantly doing number of damage on the opponents, but they're healthy. They can take this fight. There's a vending machine as well. Oh, lovely glue wall. It's just the placement that I'm talking about, and this placement is going to give a lot of reward. Reaping, sowing. As the members are fading away, Pirates, finally I can see them work in tandem, and this is helping them, but it's questioning the resolve of NG Pros. They knew the opponents are at the door, but they could not fend off the wolves, as they just kept bouncing and pounding the opponent into small clusters.
Yeah, and that is why I think last player, White Ghost, who got revived, he brings back, he has the responsibility to bring back the players. But W Squad, Bulls, he finds Badal somewhere else, and this is the third time I've seen him getting eliminated. Wow, what a match he is having, right, Azora? But wait, for now it is ZUIPTS Radhe, who is out in the open probably, and I don't think he's in a very good spot. He has to defend himself.
Region.
But Region is the solo survivor. He has to run eventually. Oh, he's barely surviving. It's Cyan who hits that woodpecker shot, and wait, where does he fall, Azora? Inches close. and he couldn't reach out to that vending machine.
I don't know what happened there, man. I absolutely have no clue. For the win, the moment I started saying that, you know what, these are my top 3 teams, NG Pros are doing really good. So nobody can call me that I have cursed them. Absolutely not. Because if that was the case, then even NG Pros would have fallen down. So watch it, guys. Watch it. The W squad on the very end, they have taken Badal again and again. And this has just given them a lot of confidence. Westeros right in front. They're still fighting. The White Walkers and Zero, they would love to get the height advantage. Rudra underneath, Aditya alongside Spark, all 3 of them just hitting a lot of footsteps, but they can do nothing. And that nade is going to do absolutely nothing.
Yep. The position awareness, I mean, right now they don't have it at all. They don't know where the players are. You know, at least that nade could have created something. But Rudra, I think he got chipped somewhere from out in the open. Bull's positioning is much more convincing because he has a very different angle. He has a solid compound as well where he can at least shelter himself if he gets spotted by other teams.
Oh, Westeros!
He literally dashes in, and he falls immediately. Rudra gets taken down as well, but the grenade launcher comes in handy for Golden, and wow! They have turned the tides against them, and the W squad are almost out. They're barely surviving with the solo survivor who is away from this fight.
I've never seen anyone get kicked so hard. Westeros. Oh boy, they were ready. They were so ready to take this battle. 12 eliminations on their name, and I can see Golden. He is shining. This dude is an absolute gem for the team. Lovely eliminations, lovely gameplay, and alongside Avon too for the way he's utilizing it, just disconnecting the opponents again and again. And then basically just saying, rely on your raw gun skin. That's it. That's the opportunity I give you. But Pirates, they're not at all leaving any stone unturned. Oh, love the shots coming in. And the rusher, he's just absolutely spot on. But JAYDEN, still a couple of players surviving. Sushant, he's still watching the back. He needs to take the fight against Flash, and he does. He so very well does. And that's a really, really good initiation, getting the eliminated members as well. Pirates racking the number game up to 10.
I want to see them. Where are they right now? Pirates, oh my god. You know, they're at the bottom, Ozora. Imagine they're showing such good potential right now. Yeah, Shreyansh, you know, the way he is, you know, playing right now is absolutely menacing. But wait. This is CHILLMATES we're talking about. Aimbot's positioning is where I don't think W squad are prepared for him. And he creates the timing which CHILLMATES had required. Meanwhile, JAYDEN gets eliminated. Reflexer and Raju OP, they are the closer ones. Reflexer, they spot... Wait,
outside the
a
circle?
park? W a park? And he puts up a glue wall. Wait, where is Bulls? He could have supported him. Bulls was looking at a different direction. He never knew that his player was getting chased by, and Reflexer used that timing and got that advantage. Ooh.
The chaos. The chaos through which the W squad is not at all thriving. CHILLMATES, they are taking the entire team hands on. The experience is helping them, and the Reflexes is just kicking right in. Bulls, well, we did see him holding the sniper, doing a number of damage on the opponents, but now they have to run away for their dear life. Rudra, we have seen him function, and he's very good when it comes to the 1v1s, but for now, he's running away with his tail tucked in between. Rudra, he wants to survive, but there's Vulture, and once he gets to know there's a prey right in front, he's gonna swoop down and heat him clean.
He has to climb up. Oh, he gets the sound cue first. He gets the sound cue. Vulture. Wait, and so does Vulture. Vulture also knows that there is somebody down there. And now it becomes an interesting story. Who will leave first? And who's going to wait? The circle is waiting for no one, Ozora.
Yeah, Rudra needs to actually head inside the circle. And look at CHILLMATES. They're just constantly on the run, on the move, and Snow. Well, Rudra, one path is clear that you can jump up, reach on top of this spot, but from there on, you're on your own.
I saw the feed, Ozora, that Vulture has been eliminated, and he got spotted and he got plucked off from somewhere, and now it's the opening which that man would have wanted, the solo survivor, and that is from the W squad. The grappling hook, will save them for sure because they would require that platform higher ground, and the circle has moved away from refinery, and this will create a lot of problems, you know, and these guys have to run away, and it's out in the open. So everybody who are holding those platforms now have to think of something. NG Pros are thinking of only one thing, that is to take fights. They're fighting against Apex right now. Actually, it is ADZ ZUIPTS. Oh, no, it is Apex. It is Apex.
Apex 7 right in front. NG Pros. Well, that number damage is not at all amping up. White Ghost. Oh, he could see players running away, but he could not do much there. But Anubhav, he has taken a huge amount of damage on his head. So he needs to heal because of Radhe. Radhe is like, I'm gonna say hello from the other side, provide the support for my team so they can rotate in. But Golden, one big mistake, and this is going to be snatched away. Wait, has it been snatched? No way! The instant support from the team is so good. Westeros, my oh my, contesting the very tippy top where Radhe is sitting there and just knows nothing about where the teammates are. Apex 7, what a lovely capitalization.
Westeros.
And well, the entire team of Westeros have been plummeted to death.
Wow, I mean, the fight started between Apex and NG Pros, and somehow Westeros climbed up on the platform, and this is the best platform, to be honest. And this is the only platform inside the circle. And that's how, you know, Apex shows up, and they defend the spot, and they have 12 eliminations to show, and they are literally ruling. They have the information of so many teams out there, except for them. If I exclude them, there are 4 more teams who are surviving, and 1 team with a solo survivor, that is CHILLMATES. And where is he? He is actually outside the circle. That is Vulture, the man who was eliminated, Ozora, who had the platform and who was defending it from W Squad. He is still surviving. For how long is the question, but this is Apex we're talking about. They have the timing, they have the positioning. Will they be able to convert this game? Because if they convert it, look at the play circle. CHILLMATES, they're surviving with solo player. So if they go out, they have that opening. They can climb up in that top 6 position. That is what Apex wants.
Oh yes. Apex Predators. Right here looking down at all the teams.
Oh, no.
But there is Glenn taking a fight against NG Pros. I hope they're prepared for this. I hope they're ready for this. Where is Dev? Dev, can he provide some cover fire? Because NG Pros, they're not going to back out. One member is already down. And Curse, he's still trying to get up, and Flame comes at the right time, but Aizen is left alone. White Ghost stuck in the corner. What's he doing? He needs to function right about now, and the nade is so good. He has done a number of damage on the opponent, and they're still stuck in the cluster. They're inside the cocoon, still wanting to survive, but for how long? As NG Pros, they're always really good at taking down all the members who rush straight to them. Glenn completely annihilated, and now Apex, what can they do? 4 members still on top, looking down where NG Pros is going to rotate from, and Pirates from a far off angle, they're still seeing what's happening.
NG Pros, they are rotating inside the circle, and this is the best positioning where Pirates and Apex can latch on. But how will NG Pros do it? They're doing it in a style, but look at Radhe, they put a stop to him. Badal, this is probably the 4th or the 5th knock which I have seen. But he still survives. He's not willing to give up. Sushant takes down Goku. They're still trying to use the grappling hook. Falls again. And this time they're getting peppered from both ends as expected. NG Pros barely able to survive. But Tanish gets spotted out. And it is White Ghost. And NG Pros are still fighting.
No way!
In this spot. Apex, they're trying to become predators right now. But they're getting preyed upon by Pirates and NG Pros. With 2 players surviving. Anubhav and White Ghost. Will they be able to take this fight against Apex and Pirates?
Different map, but same story. Oh, the Riptide Rhythm, it misses. And that's the opportunity which is long gone. The members still not yet confirmed, but those shots are insanely precise. White Ghost, it's like people are just seeing ghosts all across. He's just getting good amount of shots done on the opponent. But there's still a 44% of win rate on the name of Apex 7. They are still playing in tandem. Even though the players were knocked, and the shrink shifter, it's working for them. Pirates, they need to move real quick, and the HP is dwindling down the lips. He needs to do something really good. Anubhav from a far off angle, he's just constantly keeping the suppressing fire on the opponents. And look at the repositioning White Ghost is taking. He wants a really good angle so that he can take a couple of shots on the opponent. And Apex 7, they're the healthy lads out there. As Pirates, They're also down to the last two limbs.
Dilip and Ashu. Dilip's position is very isolated and he's out in the open. Ashu is above.
Anubhav,
and
what?
Look at Apex. Anubhav,
Oh!
he literally climbs up. He used
Hello there.
the M590 to create that damage, but immediately the time turner being used in favor of Anubhav. But the glue walls is keeping him away. He wants to go the
this
other
is
way
it.
around. This
This is
the
it.
problem. And wait, Anubhav, he shocked Ashu and he was not at all
Oh!
ready. And wait, White Ghost getting picked off and Anubhav is going to have to fight a
the
battle
circle.
against these three players. It is a 1v4 and he gets picked off by the closest player, that was Zion, with that M590 and Apex. They become the predators and they create this opportunity for themselves, and this match will definitely give them the opportunity to climb up the ladder, and the top 6 is closer, an inch closer for them.
17 total eliminations, 12 placement points, Apex 7. Well, that was beautiful repositioning. They knew that the height has already been contested by the Pirates, so might as well be underneath, and that was the very spot. This is the very area where Team Hind claimed their victory, getting that booyah in spring. So it just gave me a lot of nostalgic feeling right here, and well, White Ghost, he's tried his level best. His repositioning was very good, but if he had stuck with his teammate, which is Anubhav, things would have been even more squeaky clean. But it's all right. It's all done for Aizen, the last blow, and there you go. The booyah being backed right in. Radhe performed valiantly, Aizen as well. The two rushers, Tanish and Aizen, both of them were super good when it comes to the close quarter battles, and this is one of the teams which carries 3 rushers nonetheless. 3 rushers, right? I've seen teams have a very nice balance, having 2 rushers, 1 grenadier or a support or even a sniper, but this is like an all aggressive roster right in front of us.
Yeah, and when it clicks, it gives you the numbers, and they have raked it up. And the MVP, no doubt at all, it is Radhe, because he was absolutely connecting those beautiful headshots in the lobby, and he stopped White Ghost so many times, and even Badal as well. I mean, Badal was probably feeling left out, he was getting taken out by everyone. He almost got taken out by so many players, but Radhe was one of them. And as we all know, that Kalahari is a breeding ground for snipers, so no shock at all that he is the most valuable player. Radhe once again with that AWM, no surprises there. Also, Morse is again a no surprise, because Nero has gone out of the picture as and when this man came into the picture, that is Morse. These stealth bite has given these snipers so much to maneuver with. The stealth bites is giving them the ability to reposition when the players are alive. I don't know how much does it benefit you when it's a 1v1 situation, but in a squad battle, when it's a 4v4, this is a hefty thing.
Oh well, Moko, Rafael, Maro, well, he definitely knows what to do right there. 29 total points that Apex 7 have acquired from the previous game, and Pirates Esports, well, I'm very happy for them. They have for sure bumped up their ranks, moving all the way from 12th to at least 8th or 7th. 23 total points on their name. Westeros consistent as always, 18 total points. NG Pros, all right, I'm just going to take away the Mr. Consistent title from Westeros and put it at the name of NG Pros. Good performances all across, and they did reach towards the top 2. And CHILLMATES, well, I did see them go aggressive at the beginning of the game, but it's just 10 eliminations that they have. That's to be questioned.
This group has unfolded so many storylines, right? It started off feeling like that it's going to be a top-heavy group, but eventually it has become where almost all the teams are able to, grab those points. Pirates, they were actually at the 12th spot, right, Ozora, when we saw the standings before this game was, started, and now they have secured 20+ points. Now the question is, if Pirates get a big game again, probably imagine like a 20-25 point a game, will they be able to qualify? But here comes the circle analysis, and look at the way Pirates were rotating. They were there inside the circle, and they never wanted to leave out that advantage. And that's where they, got that positioning of that refinery platform. But I feel they somehow missed out on that opportunity where they could have converted the fight, and it was Apex all over, where they had the numbers advantage keeping in their position, and they nailed the final, the player which got eliminated, which was NG Pros, and converted that booyah.
Oh well, Westeros, they tried, man. Imagine just launching themselves, thinking that they can take down Apex 7, but unfortunately they could not do that. Since the beginning of the game, they were consistent. Each and every circle has at least given them one elimination point, and that is very important. Glenn, on the other end, they had a very good start, 6 eliminations, but look at that. Second, third, fourth, nothing. It's just silence all across. They just got some damage numbers, that's it. But NG Pros, they have kept their foot down on the gas pedal, and they have just understood one thing: never let go of the podium. Never let go, just like Kimi.
Yep, true. Right now, the position where FTW is, it's the 6th position with 64 points, right? And I'm looking at the team towards the 7th position. They're at 63. Apex, they can climb up. Glenn, probably they also want to climb up because they have 55 points, but there is a big difference. 10 points is a huge difference in today's scenario in Free Fire Max. 100x Esports, they did not have a good game, but Pirates, they did have a good game, right? They have 40.
Oh, yeah.
And if they want to climb up, there's a 24-point difference. So they have to hope that FTW gets eliminated, Apex get eliminated, and they have to be the one to do it, or else they have to hope that they get involved in some kind of a fight and they get eliminated pretty early, and they have to convert probably a 30 or 35 pointer game or a 40 pointer, which AD ZUIPTS did. But will they be able to do it? And with that being said, let's call upon the top 3 teams, which we have predicted. You guys can also go and do it. This is the last game. This is the randomizer. We have to think about that as well, Uzora.
It's a randomizer. You never know what's going to happen next. It can be your favorite map or it can't be as well. So in any which case, just be ready for a surprise, right? A randomizer god, pray for it. And hope for the best map that you can ever think of. For me, it's very simple. NG Pros all the way. NG Pros have been performing super well today. Always heading all the way towards the top 4 and then helping the team out overall, getting the eliminations as well. But finally, we are here towards the game schedule. What's it gonna be? We have 5 maps in the pool. So viewers, I would love to know from your end, which map is it going to be?
Or what map would you want to see? You know,
oh yeah,
is it going to be Bermuda, Kalahari? What is it? Nextera? No, Solara.
Purgatory. Yes, Purgatory. Fingers crossed, Purgatory.
It is Purgatory.
It is Purgatory.
Yeah. So definitely, you know, they have an idea right now that Purgatory is something which is coming up front. You know, a lot of teams have to climb the mountain. Will they be able to do it or not? We will have to find out when Purgatory starts. That's when the question is going to get answered.
You know, the funny thing is that Purgatory is a place where people go for their vacations. That's why there's golf course, there is ski lodge, there is moat house. But in all of that, what do you see? 12 teams just launching themselves inside the map just to be the last man standing and win the booyah. Get the 12 points. And it's very important for you guys to get the 12 points because we all know those 1 or 2 points are going to change the fate of so many teams. CHILLMATES and the W squad, both of them are at 70 total points.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think? Who's going to overtake who?
You know, we will have to find out because it's game time, Ozora, because this is Purgatory. This
Bring it
is
on.
one of the biggest map in Free Fire Max. It has 3 islands, and as you said, it looks like a holiday spot, but right now, this holiday spot is going to turn out to be a battleground because this is the last map for Group E, and those top 6 spots are up for grabs. Actually, the top 2 spots are up for grabs because those are the only teams who are going to make it to the group stages, and that's how we are going to end Group E. But the plane path looks pretty much centric, and there is a gunfight towards Crossroads.
Oh, there's another thing, right? We're not doing anything. Right, Oro? We're not taking a fight in Purgatory, absolutely not. So might as well go ahead and eat the popcorn and enjoy the fight as the drop clash is going to start right about now. Shot's been taken. Vishal, the first one to go down. And 100x Esports, they're still trying to find the victory for themselves. Mohsin, he does have a really good weapon. He can go for a heavy suppressing fire, and that's what he does. It is Crossroads that you guys would love to cross, and the moment you do that, it's all about death. And that's where CHILLMATES, they've already parted ways and they're heading all the way towards a different corner to call in the revival.
I mean, Ozora, CHILLMATES are not safe at all. They are
One member.
Yeah, exactly. And they're not safe at the top 6 spot as well, because anybody can climb against you and pull you right back. But it is W squad,
seriously?
Rudra, who has found out the longest elimination. even though it's not feeling like a longer distance because it's only 68 meters, but nevertheless, it is NG Pros who have again, found out 3 elimination point towards Central.
Anubhav took that shot from the Car 98K so personally, right? He could have gone for the finisher. He knew the entire area is empty. He could have gone in for the finisher, but no. Car 98K to the head.
Sushant. Right now, it's a 1v2 situation for him. Even before I could say anything, Sushant was taken down. Pirates, they have left it out for too late. They were at the 12th spot. They are feeling the pressure right now. They only have to fight. There's no way other than fighting right now. This is ADZ Safiq, who finds one more elimination for him. No problem for ADZ ZUIPTS because they are right on top. Just below NG Pros. They're comfortable, but they're finding CHILLMATES players out in the open. They're rotating. Vulture and Reflexer. Safiq is on the bike. He has the information right now. Reflexer is spotted, and he will get spotted and immediately picked off as well. Elimination coming in. CHILLMATES, the team from the city qualifiers, you usually expect the teams qualifying from city qualifiers to be good. And they are good, but they're not being able to dominate right now is what the question is. And another question which comes up in our mind is that, will they be able to qualify? They're at the 5th spot. And there are so many teams who are coming for that positioning, Ozora.
That's right. The difference is not at all that far. It's pretty close. And Reflexer, I have no idea. He just wanted to be a couch potato. Could not do much there. And I would love to see his reflexes kicking in for the team, because he can provide a lot of support. Safiq, he's out in the open, and Vulture, this dude is so quick. He sees a mouse and he starts taking those shots. Safiq, HP way too low, but he's still surviving. This dude is insane. Mohsin, he smells blood. He sees King right across the fence. He knows he cannot take any shots, but those jump peaks are going to give a lot of information. What's he doing? Mohsin! See where the opponent is. The tiny sliver. It gave a lot of window of opportunity, and there you go. He has been completely annihilated. Iconic on the other end. He's just seeing whether there's a bird in the sky or not. If there is, it's not going to be a Superman, because he soon will meet the kryptonite. That is the bullet.
Ashu is spotted, and Safiq has a VSK. Ronak has a Car 98. Where are you running? In which direction, my friend, is the question, because both of these players are waiting. As you come out, your position, of course, is compromised.
It's just game over.
Yep. Oh, wait, he's out in the open. Safiq knows it. And it's a competition between Safiq and, I think, Ronak. Then who's going to get that elimination? They're not even thinking of getting picked off, and Ashu is showing his back. And he should not do. Oh. And Safiq should be the one who should eliminate him unless he... he will. It's here.
The sniper initiates things. This is how the sniper and rusher relationship works, right? It's not at all toxic. It's just so smooth. You have an argument, you just go ahead and say, all right, fine, I'll fix it. No retaliation, just fix it. And that's what the rusher does.
Yep.
Yeah. Relationship advice is 101.
I mean, if you want, you can obviously contact Ozora. But right now it is iconic. No. Ooh, wait, what? 1v1 battle 101. You can contact Raju for that, because he won that battle. Safiq, he again has created a distance between him and their opponent. But Kings, his position is spotted, but Raju OP. Ronak has been landing these magical shots from nowhere, and he has again landed on one. And he is always being the savior for ADZ ZUIPTS. Wow, I mean, this is a player to watch out for, and they are targeting Aimbot right now. CHILLMATES again caught off guard. Aimbot, what has happened to CHILLMATES? They're falling all the way long, Ozora, in this map of Purgatory.
And Ronak always has this one dialogue in his head: you do not know who my uncle is. And that works out most of the time. Oh, iconic. All right, I see. He's trying to make a sequel of Doom. And finally, there's someone else who wants to ride the bike, and they're just taking turns. But AD ZUIPTS, jokes apart, they are so opportunistic. Once you see the opponent right in front, they're just capitalizing again and again. And now you see, they've already understood that the doors are open of the vault of the Arsenal. And well, which team is it? They have no clue, but they already know that there's someone around there, and they're just charging forward. The car readied, amped up, and the moment the opponent thought about escaping from there, it is Glenn.
Oh, White
Alongside
Ghost.
Team Westeros just getting annihilated. This is not at all a good sign for them.
You know, that was a 1v4 from White Ghost, and we did not get the POV, but definitely that was a 1v4. But there's a fight against Apex, who got that Puya in the last game, and this can be a rematch for NG Pros. They should be angry, but there are so many utilities being exchanged. Melters, and there is one knock coming in
Nah, this is not
for
a full
NG
commit.
Pros. A nade again being thrown by Anubhav,
Ooh.
but Ayan is closing in the distance. Anubhav dashes, but Ayan
No.
gets him off guard.
Oh.
Badal gets taken down as well. It is Goku
That's really
and
good.
Ayan who has to take this 1v1. But it is White Ghost who, from the longer range, again saving his team with that sniper. White Ghost is definitely the savior.
But there's one thing, right? It was not a full send from Team Apex 7. It is not at all. The one last member, Radhe, he was just chilling there like a villain, calling in the rotation alongside the revival as well of his fallen comrades. But wait a second, what is White Ghost doing? He's gonna bring in all the Dark Horses just to revive a couple of players who are still stuck in the Bolt Maker. And that's a really good call.
Yeah.
What?
Vulture.
The way he dodged it!
You know, he literally slammed on that wall. And I thought that Vulture would connect that shot at that very moment. But, you know, he gave that opportunity to, you know, run away. But Tortoise' position is known. Aimbot has that AWM. Tortoise has to jump down or probably put in those glue walls. But Aimbot finds another player. It's
Lovely
Spain. And
angle.
he gets eliminated. Wait, how was that allowed? Vulture, he gets one more. And he has the Max 7. He puts in the grenade,
the
which
nade
does not
misses.
connect. For sure, the players have to run away, but it has to be Aimbot who can again create problems. Vulture puts in the glue walls, created a distance between Arman and him, and safely finishes and picks up that elimination. Now the thought process should be that Nighthawk should run away from this position and probably would want to revive back the players. And one player has been already taken a run, which is Taurus. So, of course, Arman is in a fight where he cannot win it because it's a 1v3 against him.
Oh, they were just stalling, buying some time. So the last member can just escape from the wrath of CHILLMATES. And they've already given way too many points. 10 in total for CM. And they would love to be called the chief minister of this map. But unfortunately, you need more votes. You need more eliminations. And that's what they're eyeing for. Still not yet there in this green zone. Now to qualify towards the top 6. And that's where I would see ADC just lobbing in to take the fight. And King, he's trying to reposition himself. And that's what they would love to do. Safiq, good cleaning the house and 13 eliminations to their name with a lot of confidence.
Ladies, ZUIPTS, they again were able to clean up CHILLMATES. You know, CHILLMATES in this lobby, it has always been players falling and one of them has to go and revive the whole team. You know, this is something which is concerning because even though if you are able to qualify for the group stages, you never know what is going to happen in group stages because again, these teams are getting funneled down. From 84 will only get 42 teams and you will face the best of the best. And in those spots, you will not get those opportunities, get those sliver of chances. And that is why you have to be very careful about what you are doing and you have to build strongly. Right now it is FTW. They're fighting against 100x Esports. This probably feels like a dead rubber because both these two teams are fighting for, wait, not for FTW, it's for 100x Esports. They have to do something of a magical performance if they have to climb up the ladder and find the top 6 spot.
FTW, they're just constantly looking at the footsteps of the opponent and that's how they're finding majority of them. And they need more points. 6 is not enough. They're not at all there in the green zone at all. Mohsin right in front, and that's one of the points that they would love to go ahead and conquer. 1 HP KO bot. He would love to knock the teeth around of the opponents, and there you go. It's a different member. It's Badal taking down the same team, which is 100x. So they need to be 100x aware of what's going on. Leaving that one member to call in the rotation or to even bring back multiple is a lost cause. Stick together and know how to push the opponent.
NG Pros, They have 15 elimination. Not a problem whatsoever, Ozora. You know, this team looks solid and prepared. And as expected from an invited team, right? They are always one of the contenders and one of the strongest teams to win any championship while they enter a tournament. And FTW, they're building their own.
Smacked!
And he gets eliminated. That was 100x Esports, the last man fall there itself. Clown, he has not found an opening yet, which he would definitely want to, but FTW, they're looking strong as well. Alongside Westeros and Non-Stop Gaming Pros, it's another team who have definitely impressed us. That's FTW.
Oh yes. Empty. Right now, they're still outside the circle. It's very close, but they're still not taking it. They want to gatekeep the opponents. That's a really, really good way to reach right in towards a hard compound. Ragen. Smart stance is taken, and this is one of the houses that they can contest for, but it's still outside. It's just a tiny bit which is inside, so it's a sigh of relief, but it's not that great of a spot.
Ooh, ZUIPTS, they are finding value right now onto Apex, and I don't think Apex will be able to survive in this spot.
Oh,
and they get eliminated. At the 8th position, it was ZUIPTS, and they, I think, have found one more player from Nighthawks who's a solo survivor. Oh wait, no, he's not a solo survivor. There are players from Nighthawks. There's one more who survived, but look at NG Pros. They have understood there is a fight happening, and they want to third party in this and probably want to steal some points. And White Ghost is able to find Iconic. White Ghost, what a sniper he's turning out to be. And so is Aimbot. He has also been able to find out Taurus, and that's how Nighthawks, they complete their journey in these planes.
Flash, a cat on a hot brick. He's still out in the open. He was contesting for the drop. He wanted some kind of a loot there, good weaponry, of course. That sometimes is just gonna be his undoing, because there's no vending machine that you can even reach close by, as teams are constantly seeing, monitoring. They're like the surveillance cam. The moment they see motion, they instantly snap on the target. JAYDEN, height advantage, that's really gonna help them, but watch for your back is what I can say, as Badal, he's falling down. NG Pros, they need the man count advantage, and that's where White goes. His repositioning is super important. Badal, he has been revived, and Iconic right in front. He ducks at the right time. He's still peeking. The audacity. As White Ghost, he has a one and done weapon in his hand. Feared it.
17 already, Ozora. The circle has moved away from Brasilia. It's out in the open. And look at the positioning where CHILLMATES are holding. They have the literal center of the circle. And NG Pros would be happy as well, because they are also controlling an edge. But the problems are not solved, because Anubhav was taken out. He will get revived. I'm sure that Badal is not having the best of the games or best of the days, to be honest. And even though he's not performing, but still NG Pros has been able to, secure more than 100 points. But look at ZUIPTS and Ronak. He's not stopping. Now finally uses his stealth bites to reposition, because he has to again fall back and prioritize his circle, because his teammates have already controlled the better portion of the circle.
Well, it's outside in the open, the circle. It's not at all favoring NG Pros. They're still going to take a lot of brunt of this team, and that's what ZUIPTS are keeping constant tabs on the opponent. Bulls, he's on a very good window, but he needs to squeeze the maximum opportunity from there. And he's just constantly pushed back again and again from this team. ZUIPTS, you see the way they're just functioning. Andronik is away from the herd, and he's taking some really good suppressing shots on the opponents. 21 total eliminations, and this team is unstoppable so far. And well, NG Pros have taken a launch pad and they have lobbed themselves inside one of the vicinities, and this is a very smart move coming in from this veteran team.
Bulls from W Squad, he's not allowing Ronak to come inside. But Ronak has finally made his way. He had that stealth bite, he was waiting, but Iconic gets caught off guard. He gets picked off. W Squad has found the perfect momentum. Kings is going in for a different direction, but look at JAYDEN Max. He has a better angle. He's also waiting for Bulls to fight out. We are watching a different fight right now. It is NG Pros who have rushed inside the compound.
Big mistakes.
It is Max. He has the Tommy weaponry, but it's Prithvi right now, and we come back to Max. He finds the way out, and Anubhav gets picked off. It's the last member from NG Pros. Will he be able to survive? I don't think so, because he's still out in the open. And look at Ronak, he's cleaning things up towards NG Pros, and he gets eliminated. NG Pros, they are eliminated, and it's up to JAYDEN, W Squad, and ZUIPTS right now, Ozora.
They've already confirmed that they're going to be in the top 6, and W Squad, they're still fighting tooth and nail, armed to the teeth, healing themselves inside the glue wall. One nade will be the undoing of this entire team, and that's what Kings is cooking. But unfortunately, that deflects. It goes way off. Rudra, Aditya, both of them still alive. Andronik is still there, taking the energizing inhaler, and they are just planning something very fishy. Close range battle. King wins against one, and that M590 shot is just buzzing around the corners of the opponent. And now finally the opponent's right in front. It's a 1v1v2 where Andronik and his teammate King, 80 ZUIPTS, both of them are looking super strong. The last member standing inside the cocoon, Rudra. He needs to do it yet again, a 1v2 against ADZ. It's, I believe, uncalled for. And there you go, Rudra, good for one. There's a bison in his hand, and he's going berserk. HP low, but the revival, it's given. Wait, is it? Oh, it's again a 1v2, Rudra. You better have a nade in his pocket. Absolutely not. He doesn't have it, and he's still trying to break the glue wall. He needs to go for a reload yet again. But that entire action will come to an end real soon, as Rudra, he's been chased to the end of the world. He's outside, still existing, but not for long. Oh, what? Rudra, yet again a 1v1 accomplished. Can it be the second? Yes, it does, Rudra. Finishing in style, getting that 1v2 done yet again, proving that this dude can bring in booyahs, left, back, and center. And what a slap to the opponent.
What a way to end Group E. W Squad, Rudra, take a bow. What a 1v2. What kind of perseverance that was. And the coolness he showed towards that last few moments was amazing. Because I thought that when he got chipped while, vaulting towards the compound, I thought Ronak had him. And 80 ZUIPTS were the one, I think, who were looking super confident. But Rudra never gave up. And he had the best of the weaponry, right? You cannot fight a bison in a close range, even if you have a Kar 98K. And that's how Rudra converted it. He got picked off, even though it was Ronak and Kings for 80 ZUIPTS. They could have, converted this game. And they were, chasing him like anything. But Rudra didn't want to give up. And that's how the shot came in.
I'm so sorry that I'm going to interrupt right here. Truth be told, I'm shaking. Imagine this dude accomplishing this 1v2. Oh my god, the W Squad, they got a booyah in Nexera, and this is their second in today's date. And in Purgatory nonetheless, 3 rushers in this team, and all 3 of them, they have played so well. Rudra, I'm going to take a bow. My god, the replacement, the deadly maneuverability that he has showcased. From heading all the way outside to going inside the house and then jumping out the window, seeing where one of the opponents is going to head towards. He just isolated those fights so clean. Wow.
True. And King was stuck. King had no way around, right? He had to vault out from that window. Otherwise, the circle would have taken his life. And instead, it was Rudra who landed that final blow. PP, Bison and Rudra, swinging hard towards that last moment, and he deserved to be the most valuable player, right? Converting that game for his team. And also, let's have a look at the most valuable player while we are talking about Rudra, because it is none other than him for the W Squad. He had the Bison, right? Also, he had the Aurora vision to help him, so he knew the vision all the way along. And alongside Nikita, just helping that PP Bison to reload so quickly that he could deliver that 1v2, right?
Oh well, the roarer, the howler. That's the literal meaning of Rudra. With 8 eliminations, Bison, his favorite weapon in the final battle. Joseph, Nikita, Thiva, like you rightly mentioned. Plus, Dreki, the Dragon Glare.
Correct.
To see where the opponents are healing. Oh my god, that was just additional information for this dude. And he just knew where to hit the opponent. And that was amazing. The W Squad, even though they got the booyah, it was 80 ZUIPTS getting 27 total eliminations, overshadowing the performance, and they have total of 36 points on their name. But NG Pros, they have for sure secured the primary spot with 26 total points on their name as well. JAYDEN Esports' final battle was super good. CHILLMATES on the other end, I thought that they're going to gas out real soon, but they did not. They kept their cool, they kept their calm, and they kept hitting those shots, getting 11 eliminations and 17 total points. FTW, that was a 13, and from there on, it was just single-digit numbers. Glenn and Westeros did not get the opportunity to even get a single point. That is purgatory, ladies and gentlemen.
You know, W Squad started their journey in this circle from the western side of the map. That's the western island, and they kept on, rotating. They came towards the southern island. They then rotated towards the main island where the circle formed, and they somehow managed to run inside the circle, and they were in the center. They had the position for so long where the other teams were fighting around them, and you look at them, they just waited for their time, because NG Pros was fighting AD ZUIPTS, and when that fight ended, that's when W Squad wanted to jump into it, because that's where the third party came in, and also that 1v2 right in the last moment, which was Rudra's game.
Ooh, now let's head all the way towards the game standing, the overall standing. What has happened? Guys, can you even guess who are the top 6? Oh, well, before you could guess, it's right in front. NG Pros, congratulations. AD ZUIPTS, congratulations. The W Squad, congratulations. CHILLMATES, congratulations on making it. FTW, congratulations. And Westeros, they have made it to the top 6, and they are going all the way towards the group stage.
Zora, while we are saying congratulations, Westeros, even though they were the first one or the first two teams in the first 2 matches to get booyahs, they only have a 4-point difference between them and Apex. Imagine, even after getting 2 booyahs, they couldn't have qualified. Oh, they would have been kicking themselves. But Apex, they fell short right now. They could not qualify, but what a lineup this has turned out to be. So many good teams. CHILLMATES, they finally, as you mentioned, that they cast on. They were cool, even though there was so much happening against them in the last map. But they climbed up. They have the 4th spot. They have 87 points, and FTW as well. They have qualified. Imagine the first 3 teams, except for NG Pros, they have clinched the first position, and they have emerged out to be the group leaders with 133 points.
Hey, trust me, with the form where NG Pros were heading towards, I thought it's going to be an easy 150.
Yeah,
they were even swinging their bats, opening their helmets, but unfortunately that did not happen. It's just 133. But congratulations, as these 6 teams have qualified to the group stage. FTW, Westeros, CHILLMATES, the W Squad, AD ZUIPTS alongside NG Pros. Hearty congratulations. Oh boy, this entire action was so amazing, man. And like you rightly mentioned, Westeros, well, it's just 4 points. 75 is what they have, and the difference from them to Apex 7 is just 4 points. But it doesn't matter, right? A win is a win. As long as you exist, as long as you're pushing, as long as you're winning, you get the W. But the top performers of today with no booyah, no problem, has to be NG Pros.
Absolutely, top performers for today. What a way. And look at the booyah count. It's 0, Zora. And with 0 booyahs, they have been able to secure 133 points, and they have 93 eliminations. And you know why? Because Gopu was able to do this, with 28 eliminations, and also look at Anubhav's number with 28 there as well.
Wow.
So there are 2 members from NG Pros who have topped the charts. The elimination leaderboard is where they have again showed dominance.
Oh, you leave all of that aside. Look at ADZ, ZUIPTS, 3 members. 3 members. One with 25 and the other 2 with 24 following eliminations. Congratulations that they have been so consistent in providing those elimination games to the team. Super good. But not going to overshadow the performance of NG Pros at all, man. Getting 28 and running rampant every single time. That is just great amount of damage dealt right there. And Anubhav, he's just showcasing his experience in this lobby, right? Being the grenadier, he just knows where to throw those nades, lob it, call it a Kobe, get those rare gems who are standing outside or inside the glue wall. But there were some areas where I could see teams even missing those opportunities. So I don't know. Might as well shoot your shot, get your nades at the right spot, because this is just the play-ins, the group stages. The moment it starts, the competition level is going to go all the way up.
Yep, I did already mention it that, we will have only 42 teams out of these 84 teams qualifying, and they will be joined by 6 more invited teams, the top 6 teams from TEZ FFMIC 2026 spring. But that's for later. We are still left out with 2 more groups. Yeah, we have seen 5 groups, and what amazing set of teams, an amazing set of teams from city qualifiers. Even though the teams who have dominated are the invited teams, but we are seeing good talent. We have seen so much of talent coming from the city qualifiers as well, and definitely CHILLMATES made it to the group stages. But yeah, this is where we end for today. You guys were watching TEZ FFMIC 2026 fall. My name was Oro. With me was Azora. You guys can take rest and sleep well. Good night, guys.